Hello everyone and welcome to this video where I'm going to be walking you step by step how to create an e-commerce website. So if you are new to e-commerce or you are new to web design and you want to learn how you can create an e-commerce website like the one that you have seen on your screen, then do make sure you watch this video to the end because I'm going to be walking you step by step everything you need to know, all the process that you need to take for you to achieve a beautiful e-commerce website like the one you are seeing on your screen. So as you can see, all the pages and all the section, let me take it again from the header. So you can see we have this first section here showing the shop by category and this header with the product image. Then we have all of these that you can link it to a particular category based on where you are linking it to. We have all of this section. You can see this is a professional looking website, okay, that you can create by the end of this video. So if you're excited about that, do make sure you give the video a thumbs up. If you are yet to subscribe or you are new to this channel, kindly go ahead right now and click on the subscribe button. All right, so below it we have this recent news, which can be a blog section. All right, and then we also have this other section, and right here is the footer, so you can customize it the way you want. All right, you can even have a different layout or a different section, but with the understanding of what I'm going to be showing you in this video, I believe you'll be able to achieve that. So let me show you what the shop page looks like. So let me open that in a new tab. We have the about us and then we have the contact us page. All right, so you can also have your menu. This part where we have all these things are the menu, the home, the about, the makeup, the menu. So but if you include the logo, which is this is acting as our logo, and this entire section, that's the header section. All right, so this is what our shop page looks like. You can see it's looking very simple and very neat. We have this category. You can sort by category, by price, and then you can have all our products showing up. You can also sort based on popularity, average, and all of this. Okay, so you can see it here. This is a very clean website, I must tell you. And then you can also have this section. If you don't want this section, you can easily take it out from the website. All right, so let me show you. This is our about us page. Okay, and this is what it's looking like. And then we also have our contact us page. I'll also be walking you through the process of how to set up your payments, how to set up your shipping, how to add products. You can see some of these products here. How can you go ahead to add all of these products? If you have a variable product, like if you don't understand what it means, I'm still going to explain that. I'm going to be showing you how you can also do that within your e-commerce website. All right. So I also need to mention that, for example, this site we are seeing here, it's looking more like a tech kind of website. So irrespective of the kind of website, maybe you are looking at tech, you are looking at food, you are looking at fashion, or you are looking at accessories and the likes, the steps are still the same thing, all right, irrespective of the products. All right. So I want you to take note of that. So don't look at that this is tech and it cannot work for other kind of e-commerce websites. Okay, even if you want to do for digital products, you can also achieve the same thing. So without wasting time, let's get started with creating this e-commerce website. So to create any website, be it an e-commerce website or a regular website, there are two things that you are going to need. Number one, you are going to need your hosting and you are going to need a domain name. Now, let me explain what those two things are. Now, when we talk about your domain name simply means your website name. So if you want to access any website, you see those words that you type into your browser is what we refer to as your domain name. For example, you want to access Facebook, you go on your browser, you type facebook.com. You want to access Instagram, you go and type instagram.com or google.com. You see those words you are typing, either is .com, .org, or .anything, is what we refer to as a domain name. All right. Now, the second thing we are going to need is our hosting. Now, all the information you have on your website. Now, let's take this website as an example. All the text, all the images that we are uploading on our website, they are actually stored somewhere on the internet, making it easy for your customers to access the website. Okay, so where they are being stored is what we refer to as the hosting. All right, so those are the two things that we are actually going to need. And for you to get this, one platform comes highly recommendable. So to get that, so just come over to this website, akprosperblog.com/hosting, and then you'll be taken to this page. You can see here Hostinja. This is currently one of the best hosting platforms that you can find on the internet right now. They offer the best and quality hosting service. So if you're here, you see it, and you're getting 75% of hosting plus AI website builder. Okay, so once you are here, if you click on start now, here you'll be taken to the different pricing and the plan. All right, so we have the basic plan, the growth plus AI, and then the scale plus AI. Now, since we are working on e-commerce platform, I would recommend you go with the growth.ai. Now, if you check the difference between the three plans, you see it right here. Now, if you look at this basic plan, remember we are creating e-commerce website. You can see for e-commerce, and then this is checked for e-commerce. Okay, so that means this has more features that we need to actually get us started. All right, and then maybe later on you can decide to go up with this scale plus AI. But since you are just starting out, this is okay. Now you can see you are also going to be getting a free domain for the first year. And remember, like I said earlier, you are going to be needing two things: your domain name and your hosting. So they are providing us with hosting, and then we are also going to be getting a free domain for the first year. And then you can also use this same plan to create up to 50 websites. So maybe once you are done with your first website and you want to create another website, you don't need to come back and purchase another hosting. With the same hosting plan, you can create up to 50 websites. Okay, so you can see these are some other features that comes with it. Basic e-commerce, business email, 5 minutes backups per year, daily backup. You get up to 50 gig of storage, and then you get priority support, team collaboration, and the likes. Okay, compared to the basic plan. So what you do once you are here, just go ahead and click on choose plan. So once this page open up, the next thing you're supposed to do is to choose the period. How long do you want to purchase this hosting? Now, if you click here, you are going to have the option of choosing 1 month, 12 months, 24 months, and 48 months plan. Now, remember, you're getting a free domain. So for you to get a free domain, you have to pick anything from the 12 months plan. Okay, that's what is going to give you the free domain. Like you see it here, domain name, you won't be charged for it. You're getting a free domain. However, if you are thinking on long term, okay, I'll recommend you go with either the 24 or 48 months plan. That's if you are thinking of, the website on a long-term basis. And also choosing the 24 or 48 months plan will also increase the discounts you're going to be getting. Okay, for example, now for 12 months, your total is $59.88. But if you go with 24 months, that's 107.76. And then if you choose to go with the 48 months plan, that's $181.92. Okay, and you're also going to be getting plus 3 months free hosting. Okay, so the higher plan you choose, the more discount you're going to be getting. For example, on the 48-month plan now, you are saving as high as $489. Okay, so just make sure you choose anything from 24 to 48. That's what I'm actually recommending. Okay, so depending on your budget anyway, but those are the two. So once you have chosen any of the plan that you want to go with, okay, then you can come over here and then you click on continue. So on this page now, you're going to be prompted to create an account. So here you put in your email address and your password. So you need to take note of the email address and the password you want to use to create your account with them. Okay, so once you do that, you put in your email address and your password, and then you click on register. Once you've completed the registration process and then you've verified your email, the next page you're going to be coming is where you're going to put in your billing address. So that's your name, your last name, your country, your phone number. You just fill in all of these details. Once you are done with them, you click on the continue, and then you'll be able to make your payment. So there are different payment options that will be available to you depending on your country. Okay, so you can pay with your card. There's option of PayPal, there's option of Google Pay, OPay. I think this is available because of the country, my country. So we also have Alipay and then CoinGate. So whatever country you're actually watching from, you definitely see a payment system that will definitely work for you. So choose whichever one that works best for you, and then you'll be able to check out. Okay, so you can see once you put in either your pay with card and then you submit your payment, then you'll be able to purchase your hosting plan. Once you have completed the payment process of paying for your domain, okay, so once you've completed the billing process, the next thing you're going to be getting access to your hosting dashboard, which is what you are seeing here. So once you're on this page, you see all of these options here: your home, website, domain, horizon, emails, and the likes. So where we are coming is you click on websites. So once you are here, you see this option to add website. So go ahead and click on add website. Now all these options will pop up. We have WordPress, hosting your website builder. So what we want to go with is WordPress. Now you see some of this survey or questionnaire, so you can decide to skip them or answer them. So let's say I'm creating for myself or my business, go to next. So now the next phase now is for you to create an account. Now this information is what you are going to be using to log in into your WordPress website itself. Okay, so here you put in your email. You can see it here: WordPress email, admin email, and then your administrator password. Now one thing I would advise is make sure that whatever password you're using here, you take note of the password. Okay, so by default they'll generate a password for you. Okay, but you can go ahead and create your own password. All right, then make sure your password fulfill all of this information: one number, one symbol, one uppercase letter, one Latin letter, and then between 8 to 50 character. Okay, so one only Latin character. Okay, and then one symbol. So the symbol can be anything, full stop, and all of this symbol sign. So once you fill in all of this information, you click on next. Now you'll be asked to create with a website with AI, pre-built website and theme. So just click on create a blank site. All right. So now the next thing is this. Now they're asking that what domain or subdomain would you like to use? Now there are three options here. You can see number one, it said claim your free domain, buy a new domain, or confirm a domain you already own. Now let me explain the three to you. Now if you've purchased your hosting, there are chances, so that means you can go ahead and claim your free domain. So what you do is you put in the domain that you want to use. Okay, let's say for example this is the domain you want to use. Maybe you want to use this domain now, so you go ahead and put in the domain. If the domain is available, you see the option here with claim, so you click on claim. All right, so that's the first option. Now the second one says buy a new domain. Now this buy a new domain is when you want to create maybe your second website. Okay, maybe you've already claimed your free domain and then you want to create another website, you can go ahead and purchase another domain from them also. They also offer that service. All right, now the third one is confirm a domain you already own. Now maybe you already have a domain already, which is what I want to do. For example, I already have this domain as a gpt.com, and that's what I want to use. So I'll just go ahead and put in the domain so you can see, do you own this domain? Use it. So I'll click on it. So you can see the domain is registered at another provider. You need to verify you own it when you connect it to your site. So that's letting you know if you have a domain on another platform, maybe you have a domain from GoDaddy, from Bluehost, or from other platform, you can also use it. All right, so and that's what I'm doing. So you can see it here. I've put in this domain. I actually have this domain on another platform, Dynadot. Okay, so what I'll just do is then you go ahead and click on install WordPress. So with that now, our WordPress installation is in progress. You can see it here 6%, 7%, 8%. So I'll just pause the video and let it to go to 100, but it takes less than 2-3 minutes. Okay, so guys, if you are finding value in this video, please give the video a thumbs up, and if you are yet to subscribe, please go ahead and click on that subscribe button. So now you can see our installation, our WordPress installation has completed, and once it's complete, you are going to be redirected to a page that looks just like this. Okay, so before we proceed, now you're going to see that your domain name will appear here, and if you want to log into the back end of your website at any time, just put in the name of your domain /WP admin. Okay, so you just use this to log in at any time, your domain name /WP admin, and this will bring you back to your dashboard. Also, if you are redirected to your WordPress dashboard after installing WordPress and you are not seeing your domain name, maybe you are seeing some random words there, maybe like preview dot something something like that, you just don't worry. Basically, once you install a new domain into your hosting, it takes time for it to propagate. Now what they do is that instead of you to wait for like maybe 5:30 or 24 hours for it to propagate, they'll give you an opportunity to go ahead with your website design. All right, so you don't need to wait. So that's what is happening. So you can just go ahead with your design. Maybe after 30 minutes or so, you can then go back to your hosting plan and then just log in from there, or you just go direct and click on enter your domain name /WP-admin, and then you log in with your email and your password, and then you'll be able to see your domain name here. All right, so there are some few things that you might need to do once you are logged in like this. So one of these is that if you look over here now, you see that I'm seeing something that looks like if you want to change your username here, just come over to edit profile, because sometimes it might be showing your email, and I personally don't like that. All right, so where you have your first name, your last name, and then here you can see nickname, so you can put in a name that you want to use. So maybe let's call this, right? So then you come over to display name, so you see that it automatically show up here. You select it, and then once you scroll down, you can click on update. Now before you update, you can also add a bio, you can also add the profile pics. All right, but the major thing I want to change is just the display name. So go ahead and click on update. So that is done. Now, the other things you can do here, you can see the back end here. This is the different color scheme that is available. So you can change to different color scheme based on preference. All right. So these are the other one. But personally, I'm okay with the default style. If you want to change the site language, you can also change it from here. Okay, maybe you're not familiar with English and you want to change it to a language that you best understand, you can also do that here. So any changes you make, don't forget to always click here to update. All right, now another thing we need to do is come over to plugins. All right, then you click on those plugins. Basically, once you install WordPress, there are some plugins that the hosting platform will install into your website by default. One of it is all these hosting tools, hosting rich, hosting easy onboarding rather, and then hosting AI. So just check them. Come over to bulk action, click on it, click on deactivate, apply. Once that is done, you click on them again. So make sure you leave this light speed cache. It's very essential. I'll still talk about it later. So come over here, then you click on delete, and then you apply. All right, so that is gone. Now, basically what these plugins means is that they are, let me call them apps that add additional functionalities and features to your website. Now, take for example, on your phone, if you want to access WhatsApp, for example, you need to download the WhatsApp app. If you want to watch a video on your phone or you want to play music, you need to download an app that allows you to view gallery or view search files, okay? Or maybe you want to send message, you need to download the messaging app, right? So same thing applies to plugins. They are, let me use the word apps, all right, that you install into your website to give you certain functionalities. You are still going to install a couple of them and then you understand better. All right, so you can see we have fewer menus. Once you install the WordPress, you're going to be seeing fewer menus here. All right, so you are going to be making use of all of this. The more plugins and themes that you install, you are going to be having more options right here. All right, so if I should click on dashboard now, we can see welcome to WordPress, and this is some of the information. Now, all these informations here, if you don't want them, you can just come over to screen option and then uncheck all of this. Okay, so once you uncheck everything, you can see you're going to be having a cleaner screen here. So let me explain briefly what all these options have before we have more options here. So here is the dashboard. I've just clicked on it to bring you here. This is the post. So this is where you're going to click anytime you want to add a post or a blog. All right, so you can see here you click on all posts and then you can check out the categories. All right, this is media. So this is where all our media files, your images, your videos, and then you uploaded anything media files, you find them here. Then here is for pages. We are going to be making use of this. If I open it in a new tab, let that open up. So this is where you are going to be able to add a page and then view all the pages that you've created. So you can see currently we already have this privacy policy page, but we are still going to create more pages shortly. Now, if you receive comments on your website, this is where you're going to click to see all the comments. Then under appearance, we currently have themes and editor. So don't worry, when we install a theme, all right, we are going to see more options that will appear under appearance. For plugins, I've talked about plugins. Then this is users. This is where you can add more users to the back end of your website. If you want to give other people access to your website, this is where you're going to do so. And then you can also view all the users. Also, once our store is live, if you come over to users, you'll be able to see all the customers that are currently signed up or registered on your website. Under tools, we have all of these options here. Then settings also, it comes with all of these options. Then this is the plugin that we installed earlier. Now, let me talk about this plugin real quick. Now, this is a caching plugin. Basically, it helps with your website speed. And at any point in time you're working on your website, if you do some changes and you see that the changes, even after saving, they are not reflecting, okay, so you can just come over here, click on presets. And basically what you're just going to do is more like clearing your cache, okay? Then you can select from this advanced and then click on apply presets. So once you do that, you can see it will show you, okay, applied the advanced preset 3 seconds ago. And then you go back and refresh, then all things being equal, the changes should be effective. All right, so that is it on the overview right there. Now, next we want to do is some settings. Now, if you come over to settings, you see that we have general writing, reading, discussion, and the like. So let me just open all of them. So we have general writing, reading, discussion, and then permalinks. So those are the ones I want us to check right now. So let me take this back to our dashboard. So if you come over to general, you can see this is where you're going to put in your site title. All right. So let's say I want to call these sites Prosper Gadgets. So this is where I'm going to put it Prosper Gadgets. So you can see it will also appear here. Now this is a tagline. Now if you see what the writer said, in a few words, explain what this site is about. Okay. So you can see. So I can just give you the tag like quality and affordable gadgets. All right, so I can give you that tagline. So for your site icon, this is where you're going to put in your site icon. And basically site icon you can make use of your logo. These are the icons that will show on your browser tab, right? So this is where you upload it. Now there's another place within the appearance that we can do that. Once we install a theme, we are going to be able to do that. All right. So basically, then another important thing you need to do, because this is an e-commerce website, people should be able to come on your website and create an account. Okay. They should be able to register and sign up. All right. So under membership, so just check this option that anyone can register. All right. So once you scroll down, if you want to have any reason to change your time zone depending on your country, you can also update that. If you want to also change your date format to whatever you are familiar with, or whatever date format and time format that you use, this is where you are going to do that. If you need to change the week start on, okay, so you can do that from here. So make sure that any changes you do, you go ahead and then you click on save. So those are the options that is available on that general. So next is permalink. So for your permalinks, ensure that it is on post name. All things being equal, it will be on post name by default, but always make sure that you confirm. Basically what it does, that it makes you have a cleaner link. For example, if you want to access any page, you can just hit your domain name / the particular page, instead of having something like this that to show the year and then to show the title, or to just give you some random numbers like this. Okay, for e-commerce or for any website generally, most website, let me use that word, post name is the right one to do. So if in case you change anything, don't forget to always save. Right, so now I'll walk you through the installation and the settings that you need once you install WordPress. So let me come back to our dashboard. So now we are back to our WordPress dashboard. The next thing we want to do is to install our theme. Now, basically your theme is what controls the appearance and the feel of your website. Now, after installation, let me show you what our website looks like. So if I open that in a new tab, so like you can see, this is what our website currently looks like. Now let me go back to the dashboard. If I should to install a new theme now, you just come over to appearance and then you see themes. Now, by default, you are going to see like 3 themes here from WordPress based on the year. This is 2025, 2024, and then 2023 theme. Now we are currently using this particular 2025 theme, and this is what it's looking like. Now if I should change it to this 2024, let me click on activate. So now I've activated it. Now it has come to this site 2024. Now if I come back to this our website, if I should refresh it, so now you see that there's a change here. So you can see that this is giving us a different appearance, different layout. So that's to tell you what themes are. They basically change the feel and the appearance of your website and the design entirely. Another typical example I can use to explain what a theme is even on your mobile phone, once you install a theme on your phone, it's kind of like change the entire appearance of your phone. It goes ahead to change your icon, maybe the color and the layout and everything. The same thing applies to websites or WordPress also. So now for us to install our own theme, you come over here to click on add theme. And by the way, we are going to be using free theme. Now every other theme we are going to be using now is going to be free. All right. So once you are here, you're going to see a lot of theme. All right. So a lot of theme courtesy of WordPress, but these are not the ones we want to use. So just come over to this search and search for the theme you're going to use. It's called Flux. So that's it, PHLOX. All right. So you can see it here. So what you can just do, just go ahead and click on the install. Once it is installed, another thing, you click on activate. Now that has been activated, then you come over and click on install core plugins. So basically, once we install this theme, there are some plugins that the theme actually recommend us to install. So that is what we want to do. So the next page is what you are going to see like this. You are going to be having a page that looks like this. You can see welcome to Flux theme. All right. So now that we've installed a new theme, now let's go ahead and see what our website looks like. So if you over here, you're going to see view site. So once you click on it, all right, so you can see now that everything has changed again because we've installed a new theme. All right, so that's just to buttress what I was saying earlier about what themes are. All right, so now let's come back to the backend. The next thing we want to do is to import a template. Now, if you look at this website you are trying to create, it's actually a template that all the layout, all the design has already been done. So that will make it easy for you. That will fast track your website creation process or your e-commerce creation process. So let me close this tab. So once we come to run demo importer, so you can either click that or you just come here straight up and then you click on demo importer. Now, if you look at this theme, it has a whole lot of templates that you can actually import. Now you can see this is the one that I want to use. You can see this digital shop. All right. So you can just go ahead and click on imports. There is no need for you to preview it. All right. But away from that, you're still going to see that if you click on shop, for example, all right, you see that there are a whole lot of other templates that you can make use of. You can see there are a whole lot of templates. That's what I was saying earlier, that even if you're not doing gadgets or the likes, you can find other demos that will work for you. Actually, some are free and some are paid anyway, but the one that we're actually using, you can see it's a free one. This is another one that is actually free. Okay, but like I said earlier, you can also import this. So let me go ahead and click on import. So you can actually import that and still use it for other kind of products. Okay, now you can see for better results, it's recommended to install the demo on a clean WordPress site. So just go ahead and click on continue. So it's telling us that we are going to need all of these plugins. All right, so the WooCommerce is what makes it easy for us to have that e-commerce functionalities in our website. So these are other recommended plugins. The contact form 7 plugin is for people to be able to contact you, all right, to send you a mail directly from your website so that you can receive it. Then we have this MailChimp and WP like. So go ahead and click on install plugins. So once those plugins are installed, the next thing, just come over and click on skip. So we want to import the media also. So just go ahead and click on import content. So you can see the importing demo content is in progress. All right. So this process may take 5 to 10 minutes. Actually, it won't take up to that. Okay. So if you are finding value in this video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you are still yet to click on that subscribe button, kindly go ahead right now and click on that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. So it's done importing everything. You can say congratulations, demo has been successfully imported. So now let's go ahead and preview our site. So you can go ahead and preview or close it, but let's just preview. So if you click on preview, then you can see it here. So let me close this. All right, so you can see this pop up here. So you can see now this is our site now. All right, so after importing it, you're going to be having what looks like this. All right. So this is it right here. And then once you are logged in like this, you'll be having all these tabs. All right. I'll still talk about it. All right. So it's still showing on coming soon. You're still going to change that, but you can see this is our website right now. All right. So this is the website. Now, the next thing is for us to update everything on this. Now let's go back to the back end of our website. Okay. So let me close this. So now for the dashboard, let me click on the dashboard again. All right, so now that we've installed the theme, remember I mentioned earlier that now you can see that we have more options, more menus here on this side here. Now you can see we have this Flux, which is a theme. Another new thing we have is the WooCommerce, which is because of the theme. Remember when we were installing the theme, it asked us for this. Now we have Analytics, Marketing, Elementor, Page Builder, and then all of this. All right. Now we are gradually having our website. Okay. So again, if you don't want any of this, so let me dismiss this. You can just hide all of this, okay, or you just come over here, this screen option, and then uncheck any information that you don't want. All right, so the next thing we want to do is now you can see that we have WooCommerce here. So we want to do some settings under WooCommerce. So once you over WooCommerce, you come over to settings. So let me open that in a new tab. So once it's open up, you can see there are a lot of settings. So let's go through them one after the other. So the first thing is asking us our store address. You say this is where your business is located. Tax rates and shipping rates will be used here. All right, so now you are going to enter the location of your store. So now let me put in, let's say my store is somewhere in Ibadan, for example. So let me just enter Akobo Ibadan, so somewhere in Nigeria. So then I put in the country. So let me change that to Nigeria. So irrespective of the country, all right, so let me put that's Oyo State. Then you put in your zip code, all right. Now, the next option is asking us the setting options. So you can see the options there. Now, once you are doing all of these settings, you see that there's a circled question mark here. So in case you don't understand anything, you can just go through them and then read what is there. All right. So the selling locations, now if you look at it, this option lets you limit which country you are willing to sell to. All right. Then why the shipping locations says that choose which country you want to ship to or choose to ship to all locations you sell to. All right. So now location, selling location, where do you want to sell to? So you can select that. Do you want to sell to all countries or to sell to all countries except, maybe you want to sell to every other country except some few countries, or you want to sell to a specific country. For example, now if I put, since it's Nigeria, maybe I want to sell to Nigeria alone, I'll just put in sell to specific country. You can see here, it asks me that which country do you want to sell to. Maybe I want to sell to just Nigeria and the United States, for example. All right. So you can see it here. So you can say that you want to sell to a specific country. You can decide that you want to sell to all the countries. It's a matter of preference. Okay. Now then you are going to enter your shipping location. Where do you want to ship to? So there are also options here. You want to ship to all the countries that you sell to. That means I can only ship to Nigeria and US. Or do you want to ship to all countries? Okay. Or you want to ship to specific countries only, or you want to disable shipping and or disable shipping and shipping calculations. All right, so maybe you don't want to have anything to do with shipping. All right, so it's a matter of preference. Okay, so but this now let me leave it to ship to all countries that I sell to. So the next option is this default customers location. So by default it is on shop country or region. All right, so you can also change this if you also want to. Now next thing is to it's asking if you want to enable tax. All right, so if you want to enable tax on your site, okay, depending on how tax works in your country, especially the country where you are operating for example, like this ton, I can say I put in that my country that I'm operating for is Nigeria and Oyo State. All right, so you can also, if you want to enable tax, just check this option. All right, then enable coupon. So enable the use of coupon code. If you also want to enable the use of coupon code on your website, do make sure that this is checked. All right. Then calculate coupon discount sequentially. So when applying multiple coupon, apply the first coupon to the full price and second coupon. Now, what this means is that if you once you create a coupon and maybe you have two coupon created already, maybe you are doing a coupon for 10% off and you have another coupon code for 20% off. Now, if you want them to be able to use the 10% off, and after using that, they can go ahead and use the second coupon, you check this, but it's not advisable to check this anyway. All right, so the next thing is the currency option. So this is where you select your currency. So let me just leave it as US dollar. Then you select the position, the currency position, the thousand separator, and every other thing. Okay. So by default, this is always okay. But if you need to change them, that's fine. But make sure you save changes. So once you save changes, remember we've enabled tax. A new menu will appear here, which is tax. We are still going to get there. So the next is on products. So you click on products. So this is where you're going to select your shop page. All right. So by default, it will be on shop. So basically, the shop page is a page that house all your products. Okay. So make sure it is on. If you click here, you see other pages. You leave it on shop. Add to cart behavior, enable Ajax. Okay. So for placeholder image is set to 9. So what it means is that in a place where there is not the image is not uploaded, what default image should show there? So maybe you upload the product and you didn't add an image. There's a particular image that will show there. So the image number in your media file is 9. So let me show you what that means real quickly. So let me open my media. So these are the images that is available in our website. Remember, because we imported a demo site, so all of these images was also imported. Now, let me show you what that is talking about. That if you look at it here, it says placeholder image and 9. So let me tell you where this 9 is coming from. Now, this is the image here. So if I should click on it, if you check the browser tab here, you can see that there is 9. The item equals to 9. Okay, so that's how that means any place that we are supposed to have a product image and the product image was not uploaded, this is the image that will appear here. Now, if I should pick another image, maybe this image, for example, you can see the number is 56. All right, so you can see it's the item equals to 56. So that's the number that was here, 9. Okay, so then the measurement, so here you put in your units depending on the unit that you work with, or maybe the units that your customer uses or that your store uses. So you can adjust them and use the appropriate image. Okay. All right, so do you want to enable review? This is checked by default. Enable star rating on review, yes. So if you don't want this, you can uncheck this. But after that, do make sure you save changes if you make any changes. So the next one is on tax. All right, so let's come over to tax. So now for the first option, it says price entered with tax. So you can see there's yes, I will enter price inclusive tax. No, I will enter prices exclusive of tax. So what it means is that the product you're going to be listing on your website, is it tax inclusive? Okay. So the option by default is to be no. That means if, for example, now this particular product is $995, right? So that means this is just the price. Tax is not yet included. Okay. So that means no, I will enter price exclusive of tax. So then tax, calculate tax based on, do you want to calculate it based on your shipping address or based on customer billing address or based on your shop-based address? Okay, so depending on how tax works in your country where you're operating from, so that's then you can choose the best option that best fits. Okay, so you can either choose based on customer shipping address, based on their billing address, or based on the shop-based address. So I'll just select shop-based address, then shipping tax class. So by default, it will be on shipping tax class based on cast item. All right, so based on the item. All right, but there are different options that I'm still going to talk about this. Then rounding, so if you check, say rounding tax at subtotal level instead of rounding per line. So if you want to check this now, additional tax class, this is, we have basically, you can, if you look at what we have here, we have standard rates, reduced rates, and zero rate. These are different tax class that is available. So by default, you see the standard, these are additional tax class, and you can see this is it here. So if you don't want it, you can just take it off. Okay, now display prices in the shop excluding so the prices is excluding taxes. Okay, so that means the tax will be calculated once you are checking out. Okay, display prices during carts and checkouts. Okay, excluding tax. So prefix, price display prefix is set to this, and then itemize. So if you make any changes here, do make sure you go ahead and save. Those are the options here. Now, next thing is for you now to set up the tax itself. So we have the standard tax, the reduced rate tax, and the zero tax. All right. So let me start with the standard tax rates. So for this now, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see your country code, your state's code, and then zip code, the city, the rates, and all of this. So let me go ahead and insert a new role. So for this now, you're going to enter the country. So let me say I want to use setting for Nigeria now. So if I put in Now you might just try to put in your country and then okay, so you can see it in your, I think Nigeria shop. So if I put it as NG, so now if you want to put in a state code, maybe for Nigeria, maybe for Lagos, now they have a separate one, or maybe for Abuja they have a separate one. But if it is the same for all the old states, you could just leave it like that. You just leave also the zip code. All right, if you also leave this, then you come over to rates. Now depending on how much rates is the tax is being charged in your location. All right, so you can just put the account for this. Now let's say 5%, I think so. All right, then it give it a name. So for here now we call it VAT, value added tax. All right, then you put in your priority, and then if you want to include it also in shipping. All right, so you can do it for different states and different country code. You can do it for different states if they have a different rate. All right, and you can just do so. And if you are, for example, like for this I said based on store location, but if you are using based on the customers billing address or shipping address, then you have to create one for all the locations that you are selling for. I mean, you are selling to rather. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So just go ahead and save. All right, so this is for standard rate. Now if there's a reduced rate, okay, you can come over here to click on reduce rates also. So you also create that for you. Maybe there are some products that the rate is not the same thing with the standard rate, so you also come to reduce rates and also create their own kind of tax. Okay, then you also have the zero rate. You can just go ahead and delete it. This is just additional different tax class that you can have. Okay, so you just come over to tax. So you can see this place where they have additional tax classes. You can just delete the one that doesn't apply. And if the name is different, you can also change the name. Okay, all right, so that's it on tax. So now let's go to shipping. So on this shipping page is where you are going to set up how items being purchased on your store are going to be shipped. All right, so let's come over here and just click on add zone. So here you create a zone. So now let me explain this. So give your zone a name. So let's say I want to create, remember for this store now, I said I'm only shipping to Nigeria and United States, okay, for tutorial purpose. Now let's say I want to call this, now that I'm shipping this to Nigeria now. This I want to create a zone for Nigeria. So that's if I'm shipping to Nigeria. So now this is where I'm going to enter the location. All right. The zone region. You can say list the region you would like to include in your shipping zone. All right. So if you want to include everywhere, you can see it here. But for this now, since I said I want to ship to this for only to Nigeria, let me just uncheck this. So let me look for that. So you can see it here. So I've gone ahead to select Nigeria. So if you look at it here, there is still a low lot of um, other regions and other countries. Okay, even within, if you say you want to ship to Nigeria, you can still go deep and say, okay, maybe I want to ship to some particular states. You can see it here. You can go deep. It has there are a lot of options that you can choose from. If you want to look for United States, it's other North America, you see it there. All right, so we are still going to do that of US. So once you have selected that, you put in your zone and then your region that you want to ship to. Okay, you come over to shipping method. So you click here and click on add shipping method. Now there are 3 shipping methods. You can offer free shipping, a flat rate, and local pickup. Now for free shipping, now let me select free shipping. So then you click on continue. So you can see now what your customers will see the name of the shipping method during checkout. So it's just free shipping. Let me leave it like that. So what's the requirements for them before they can get a free shipping? That's what this one. Free shipping requires. Now you can either choose that, okay, for you to get the free shipping, there's no requirements. That means any item you buy, okay, as long as the shipping is to Nigeria, you are going to be getting a free shipping. All right. That's for no requirement. Now, then the next one is a valid free shipping coupon. That means I'll have to create a coupon specifically for items that is to be shipped to Nigeria that we added. Then we have minimum order amount. That maybe once you purchase a particular item up to a particular amount. So if I click minimum order amount, it will ask you that, okay, what's the minimum amount? Maybe if you purchase an item, a minimum of $300, you'll be getting free shipping. All right, so that's it. Then we also have minimum order amount or coupon. So either one of these two, either you hit this minimum amount or you are using a coupon. Then the other one is minimum order amount and coupon. That means those 2 conditions must be fulfilled. All right, so it's a matter of preference how you want to set it up. So, but for this now, I want to set it to no requirements. Okay, then you can go ahead and create and save. So you can see we also have this add shipping class cost. So I'm going to explain this once we are doing flat rates. So just continue and save. All right, so that has been saved already. So we've already have a free shipping. Let's say we are only doing free shipping for only Nigeria, or for every order that is going to Nigeria. So now that's for this shipping zone. Now let's go ahead and create another zone. Like let's say we want to do another one for, so let me click on add zone for orders that are going to maybe United States. Remember, those are the two countries we are selling to. So let me just call this US, so that basically I want to use this to explain flat rates. All right, so where is am I shipping this to? So I want to ship this to US, so I'll just look for it here. So United States, I can select here that, okay, once I've selected this, I'm referring to the entire United States. And I can also come here and also click for certain states here that, okay, these are the only states that I'm shipping to. Okay, so it's as flexible as that. So I've selected United States, you can see it here. Then you can also limit to specific zip code and postcode. You can also do that. All right, so let's come back here again and click on add shipping method. So now I want to do flat rate. So I click on flat rate. Okay, then I click on continue. So you can give it a name. Do you want to be taxable? If you want the shipping also to be taxable, you can just click here. Now this is where you're going to enter the cost of the shipping. How much do you want to charge for shipping? Now if you put your mouse or your cursor over this question mark, I say enter a cost exclusive of tax, okay, or sum. Example 10 multiplied by quantity. Now what this means is that if I should put in a price that I want to charge for shipping, maybe I want to charge $5, so that'll be 5.00. And if I should add this, that's this star, then square brackets, and I put QTY, and then I close it again with a square bracket. So what it means is that for each item that you are purchasing on the store, all right, I'm going to be charging $5 for it. Okay, so that means if you have like 3 items in your cart, with this setup now, I'm going to be charging you, if you have like 3 items now, with this setup, you're going to be paying $15 for shipping. That's $5 times the number of quantity of item that that you are shopping for. Okay, so that's the meaning. Now you see this add shipping class cost. So if I should click on add shipping class cost, that will open in a new tab. So you come over here and click on add shipping class. So now basically what it means is that, now remember that the one that we created here is saying that we are charging $5 for each item. Now what about if there are some items that the shipping, maybe it costs more than $5, for example, maybe because they are heavy or they are bigger. Okay, so this is where you can create a class for them. And once you are creating products, you are going to select that this is the shipping class that this particular product belongs to. Okay, so once we start creating products, I'll show you that. So now you can see they've given you some ideas of some words that you can put there. So for this shipping class, example heavy. So let me still maintain that. Let me call this heavy. So for the slug, that's in, you can just also put heavy package, just like they recommend. All right, so you put in a description here, so you can say, so yeah, I just put that, okay, for bulky and heavy items. All right, so I then click on create. All right, so once that has been created, so I come back to this. All right, so let me just create and save. All right, so you can see flat rate, then you come back to click on edit. All right, so you can see it here that the shipping class for heavy, all right, it has been created. So this is where I'm now going to enter the price that I want to charge for products or items that fall under the shipping class. So let's say for this now, I want to be charging $8. So I'll just do the same thing I did earlier. Then I will say multiplied by, so that's asterisk, square brackets, QTY, and then close it. All right, so you can also do percentage base. Okay, so if you hover over here, you see the short code for it. All right, so just read what is there. Right, so once that is done, you click on save. So basically with that now, we've been able to create our shipping. So let me explain again what that shipping. This shipping can be very confusing. That's why I took my time. So what I was able to do here, I said, okay, for this store now, if you are buying anything and we are shipping to Nigeria, it's going to be free shipping. If you are shipping to the United States, there's going to be a flat rate. Okay, and I've showed you the different options available within the flat rate. Okay, so assuming you are doing shipping to all the countries, then you can make use of this the rest of the world. Okay, so but you still find the same options that we used right here. Right, so that is it for shipping. So the next thing is for payments. So once we are on this payment side of the settings, now you're going to see some options, some payment providers. You can see payment providers right here. Now, depending on your business location, if you look right here, we're having business location as Nigeria. And remember, that was what we said as the business location. So you see some payment gateway that is available to that country. But in case you do not see the kind of payment gateway that you want, so what you do is you install certain plugins that will make that available. So we'll come back to our dashboard. We look for plugins. Okay, so with this now, I want to install plugins that will allow us to be able to use the likes of Stripe, Square, and then PayPal. So you come over here and click on Add Plugin. So what you're going to look for, you're going to look for Stripe payments. So it came up just now. So you can see it here. So we have payments plugin for Stripe WooCommerce. So this is the plugin. You're going to go ahead and install it. So there's this other one, but you can see the review is not looking good. So this is the one that I'm recommending. So once you install, you also need to activate it. Also, if you want to make use of PayPal, so this is the one for PayPal. Just search for PayPal payment and you see payments plugin for PayPal. So go ahead and install and activate this also, right? So now I've installed that of Stripe. So I'll come back to where we are setting up our payment provider. So I'll just go ahead and refresh it. So now that it has been refreshed, you'll see that a lot of options will now appear, okay, that works with Stripe, okay. But basically, the important one that we need is the card payment. So you can see credit card payment is active. So you can see it here. Then if there's anyone that you want to use that is active already, so you just go ahead and click select enable here. So for this card payment, so come over here and click on manage, save that. So you come over to API settings, okay. So this is where you're going to set up a link between your Stripe account and then your website. All right. So for this now, you can see you set the mode to live. That is, you're going to go live. All right. Then you connect it to your Stripe. So once you click here, connect, click to connect. Okay. So once you click it, okay, I've not yet saved changes. So let me hold on. So, okay, let me save changes. All right, because I've changed it to live. All right, so you come over here and click on connect. So what it will do is it will take you straight to Stripe. So next, you are going to enter your email. Either if you have a Stripe account, fine, you enter it and then you'll be able to log in. If you don't have, you also enter an email, more like you want to sign up, and then you click on submit. So once you go through that process, you can see we make it easy to connect Stripe. Click the connect button to go through our connect flow, right? So it's a straightforward process to connect your Stripe account with your e-commerce using this plugin, right? So once you go through that process, you just go ahead and click on save changes. So with that, now you've been able to complete payments section. So now let's go to account and privacy. So then some of the options here are quite okay. You might not need to change everything, but let's just go through it. For checkout now, enable guest checkout, then enable login during checkout. Okay, so allow customers to check out without an account. So I don't want this option. I'll uncheck this. So let me check this here. Then account creation, allow customers to create an account during checkout and also on the account page. I want them to be able to create an account. Account creation process, send password link. Okay, use email address as account login, so they can also log in with their email. Okay, then erase accounts request. So remove personal data from order on request if you want to do this. So these are some other things that you can do based on preference. Remove access to download on request. All right. So then privacy policy, then registration privacy policy. So this text will show up by default once they are checking out. Okay, so if you need to change the informations here, you can go ahead and do that. Now this is personal data retention. So retaining active accounts for how long. So if you want to use this, you can use, but if you don't want to, you can just leave it like that. Okay, retain failed order, retain cancelled order, then retain refund, all this information you can just leave it as this, but if you need to, you can put in some durations that you want to retain some of this data. So anything you change there, just click on save changes. So the next one is on emails. So right here are all the emails that will be sent to you or your customer depending on the action that they take on your store. So you can see right here the recipient right here is showing you, is it you or the customer. Once a new order is being made, okay, you are going to receive an email, and the customer is also going to receive an email. All these options are currently enabled. So if you need to change them, you come over here to click on manage. Although the template is quite okay, so they are currently enabled. All right, you can see this is templates here, but if you need to change them, okay, so you can also come over here and change it, but by default it is always it is okay. All right, then make sure it is enabled. That now if you once we are done with the store, we are still going to test it, but let me also mention it here that once you are done with your store, if you notice that you are not receiving emails or your customers are not receiving emails, the first thing is to come here and check if you click on manage for any of them and check if it is enabled. All right, so if it is not enabled, go ahead and enable them. All right, so that's the first. Another thing that could cause it, I'm still going to talk about that towards the end of the video. So under site visibility, you can see that our store is showing store is coming soon, and this is where you can change it to live. So once you want to go live, that means people can come on your website, create an account, and then make a purchase. All right, so you click on save. So next to that is our point of sale. Now you can see this, you are going to enter your store detail. You can see detail about the store that are shown in email receipts. All right, so this you are going to put in your physical address, you can put in your phone number an email address, and then your return and refund policy. Okay, so you can see it here, brief statement that will appear on the receipt. So that's where you can put an item bought in good condition and not refundable, just a brief statement. All right, so all this information here is what will show on the email receipt. So do make sure you put in the right information here, and then you save changes. Then lastly, we come over to advanced. So these are some pages which is set by default, okay, but you can also go through this. So your cart page is already there, okay. Your checkout page has been selected, your terms and conditions. So once you create your terms and condition page, you go ahead and look for it, and then okay, we don't have a terms and condition page, do we? So then you go ahead and select it, and every other thing apart from that, I think they are quite okay. Then you save changes. So with that, we've completed the WooCommerce settings. Now the next thing we want to do on the video is how to add products. So welcome back. If you are still finding value in this video, please give the video a thumbs up. If you are yet to subscribe, please go ahead right now and click on that subscribe button. So do that right now if you are yet to subscribe to the channel. So go ahead and click on that subscribe button. So to add the product, if you come over here, you see products. Okay, so once you over it, you're going to see all products, add new product, brands, category, tags, attributes, and the likes. Okay, so let me start with categories. So let me open categories, let me open tags, and let me open attributes. Okay, so first one we are having here is categories. Now by default, because we imported a demo, we already have a good number of categories that right here, so we can have this. Now, but to create our own category, you see it by the left here to say add a new category. Okay, so you can read the information that is attached to it to understand what it means. But basically, it means, so category is a way of bringing similar products together under a similar menu. Okay, so that's what category in simple word. All right, so for this, now let me see another category that I can create. So let's say I want to create a category for phone. So this way I'll just put in the name. I'll call it phones. So you can leave the slug, you can leave, and if you want to add a description, if you want to put in a thumbnail image, all right, you can go ahead and put it right here. All right, so then you click on add new category. So I also advise, if you want to have a category menu on your own page or a category section, do make sure you add a thumbnail image. It is very essential, but others ones there's no image there or thumbnails. All right, so that basically these are simple as that to create a category. All right, so that is it on category. Now for tags, these are just, it's also similar to category, but it's just a way of bringing another product based on a particular keyword. All right, so for example, now if you look at the category, let me open that again. I can create a product and then I'll just use a particular word, to link products together. I don't want to create a product how you understand better. So that's it for tag. All right, so we don't have too much tag here, but if you want to create a tag, you can do so here. And also, if you are creating your product, you can also create your tags and category while creating the product. Okay, we are still going to see that. Now, another important one here is the attributes. Now, we don't have any attributes here created already, and that's pretty much okay. So we can create our own attributes. Attribute basically means, attributes are basically for products with variations, okay, products with options. All right, so now let me start with creating one. Now maybe I want to create an attribute for color. Okay, for color now, then I'll just go ahead and then add attributes. Okay, so what this means is that if I should come over to a particular, maybe you have a particular product now, for example, based on the category we have, let me show you, let's come back to this shop. So for this product now, you can see it is black. All right, so maybe I want to show that on my store. Let me open this product now. You can see that for this particular product, there is no information like, okay, maybe you want to pick the white, the black, the blue, or the purple. All right, so the process of setting up your store to have those different variation, they are attributes. All right, so now I'm back to attribute. I've created one based on color. So then I'll click on configure item. So this way I'm going to add the different colors. Okay, so maybe I want to say I have the black. So don't worry, once you start creating products, you have understanding there. I can click on add new color. All right, so I want to have for white. And then let me just do for one more color and then for red. Okay, add attributes. Okay, so that is it for this particular attribute. So if I should come back to attributes again, so you can see this is for color. Now, if you are doing fashion items now, so that's where you see sizes. That's so you just come over here and create sizes. Then under configure item, you can have large, extra large, XXL. Okay, so I hope you understand that. Okay, then if you also, depending on the product that you are selling or that you want to sell, you can also have an attribute like length. So maybe you're going to have long shorts. Okay, so I hope you get those attributes. For example, now if you are doing for phone, for example, now you can have attributes for maybe iPhone 16 now. Okay, so let me just put in iPhone 16. So maybe you want to create an attribute for iPhone 16. Let me go ahead and click on add attributes. So if I should come over here to iPhone 16, if I click on configure item, so I can create a variation for this iPhone 16, maybe iPhone 16 Pro. Okay, I hope that is available. Then you can also have another one, maybe iPhone 16 Pro Max. No, so I hope you get that. Right, so basically that is how you create attributes. Once you start adding products, you understand more about this attribute. So if I should come over to product now, we've looked at attribute, look at tags and category. The same thing works with brand. If you want to create a brand name so that you can sort your products based on brand, then you can just click on brand also, and then you also do the same thing. You click a brand name. All right, so you can do that. Okay, so away from that, now if I should click on all products, so you can see that by virtue of the demo site that we imported, so these are some product that is on demo site. So it was also imported to our website. So once you are creating yours, so just go ahead and click on this box this here, select everything, come over to bulk actions, then move everything to trash. Because what I believe what you want to do now is to bring in your own products. Okay, but once you bring in all your product, this is how it will appear. All right, then you have your SKU, stock keeping units. Then you have your stock is there to show you if you have it in stock or not, your price, the category that this product applies to, some tags. Okay, and then if you created brand for it, you see it here. Then if you set your product to featured, so featured product means they will come at the top of the, for example, now if I should come over to shop page, all right, then if I have a featured product, it will show up first here, irrespective of when I added it. Okay, all right, and the date when it was published. Now, how do you go ahead to add your product? So once you're on this page, once you hover over product, you see all product, or you can click on add new product. So this is it here also, add new product. So let me pick one product. Let me use this as an example. Okay, let's say, okay, let me use this one. Let's say I want to recreate, I want to upload this product. Now let me walk you through the process. So you can see this, you are going to enter your product name. So let me quickly copy that. Go with C7. So I'll copy it. I'll come and paste. I'll paste it here as the product title. So where we have this product description. So let me show you that your product description is this long one we are having here. Okay, so I can come out here and copy it. Now it's different from here. You can see this description here is not the same thing with here. The one you have below here is what you are going to paste here. All right, so you can format this. Okay, so you can make sure you format it and make it look good. Okay, so if you want to maybe have some heading, you can do this. You can change it to maybe heading 4, okay, to make it bold. You can just add different formatting right here, and you can also bring in images. Okay, so just make sure you have a good product description. So the next thing we have here is the product data. Now we have simple products and we have variable product. Now let's start with simple products. Now for simple products, by default, the first option is general. This is where you're going to put in your regular price. So let's say for this item now, let's say it's $4.99. So this is where you're going to enter the price at $4.99. Now the meaning of sales price, sale price is if you are doing, maybe it's $4.99 and then you can get it for $3.50. Okay, so that means you are doing a discount, right? So $3.50. You can also schedule for this sales price that, okay, maybe from this also date to this date is when you can get it for $3.50. Okay. And if you just want it to be available for that price, you don't need to schedule it. All right. Now, this is for the tax status. Is this item taxable? Do you want to charge tax on this item? So you can see it here. It is taxable. Okay. Then the tax class, this is it. You can see we have the standard, the reduced, and then the zero rates. So whichever one that applies to it, remember when I was talking about tax? So if it falls under standard, you select standard. If it falls under reduced rate, you select reduce rate. So those are the options here. Now if you come over to inventory, so this is where you enter your stock keeping unit. If you use SKU, it is quite optional, but if you have SKU for it, just put in your SKU. You can see it here. SKU refers to stock keeping unit, a unique identifier for each distinct product and serve that can be purchased, and service that can be purchased rather. Okay, so if you also have this information, ISBN or whatever, if it applies to your products, you put it. Now this is for stock management. So this is to track quantity of for this product. So once you check this, you can be able to put how many of this product you have. So let's say I have 50 of this. So each time someone purchases it, the quantity will keep reducing. All right. Then you want to allow back order. So that means if a product is not available, do you want people to still be able to go ahead and order it? All right. So that's basically the meaning of back order. So I don't want back order. So this is already said I do not allow. Okay. So low stock threshold. So this is a particular number that this product will get to, and then you are going to receive an email that you are running low on this stock. Remember, we've allowed stock management. So now we are going to enter how many quantity do we make sure that it will, maybe now we said that we have 50, maybe once it gets to 10, I want to get notification that, okay, I'm running low on this product. Okay, then we want to sell individually. Okay, so you can also limit purchases to one item per per order. If you want this, you can check this. Now for shipping, so right here you put in the weight. Now this is for dimension. So if you remember when we were setting up, set the weight to gram, and then I changed the dimension to millimeter, so you can see the effect here. So here you put in the length, the width, and the height if it is applicable. But if you don't have those information, you can just leave it blank like this. Now coming to shipping class, this is where you select a shipping class. Now by default to be no shipping class. So that means the buyer or the customer shipping will be going to be calculated based on their shipping address. Okay, I remember we've set our shipping to Nigeria and the US, right? So if it fall into any of those categories, the correct shipping will come up. Now, but if you select this shipping class, now that is if you put it to no shipping class. But if you select heavy, so the price for heavy is what will show up. Okay, so I hope you remember this heavy while we were creating our shipping, right? So that is it there. So these are the three common options that you actually need, all right? So that's if you are doing simple products, okay? And remember, we are doing physical products. So as you are doing digital product or downloadable product, this is where you are going to select either if it is a virtual product or if it is a downloadable product. Okay, you can see as I selected downloadable, there's an option to upload the downloadable file, the name, the URL, or you can add the file. How many times can they download it? Okay, I just need to mention this, but we will not need it. This is a physical store, all right? We are selling physical products, all right? So there are other options here which you don't actually need, but let's quickly look at them. Now this is for link product. If you want to do an upsell and a cross sale, so you can just look for a particular product that you can use as an upsell with this product, or if you want to do a cross sale, all right? For these attributes, we'll come back to it, all right? So then we have this advanced. If you want to add a purchase note, okay, enable review is checked. That means people can give review once they purchase the product. Now for this Stripe payments, this is where you can select the specific kind of payments that you want to use for this particular product, which is rare. All right, people don't actually set this up, all right, but I just need to mention it. So basically, like I said, the most three common options you might need to work on is the general, inventory, and then for shipping. That's for simple products. All right, so once you now scroll down, there's an additional place for you to put a short description. Now the short description is what we are having here. All right, so the information that you put here is what will be your short description. So let me copy this and then come and paste it here. All right, so you can see, then you can also format this appropriately. All right, but it's, by default, the description is supposed to even be shorter than this, okay? Because it's just something very short. All right, you can see just even shorter than this if possible. All right, so that is it for this place. Now let's check the options that we have on the side. So if you come over to the side before you publish, this is where you upload the product image. So come over here and click on select image. All right, so if you don't have the image uploaded already on your computer, you can just, this is how you upload file. Click on upload files. So you can see you can either drag file here, or you come over here, click on select, and then it will open up a folder on your system where you can go ahead and select the image from your list of download files. All right, so let me just choose from, so let me just click here and then choose a random picture. So let me just say this is it. All right, and then you click on set product image. Okay, so you can see this is it here. Now this is where you put in your product gallery. Now your product image is what will show as the main image for your product. That's the same thing that will also show in your shop page. All right, so if I open the shop page now you see all this image here. These are the product image. Now while the product gallery are other images that will show up, so let me just pick this two. So you can see I've selected this two, then So you can press down your control button so that in case it's not allowing you to select multiple, all right, you can see I've selected this 3 and I click on add to gallery. All right, so you can see it here, it is already added to gallery. Now one thing you also need to note is that make sure that what you have as your product image, you don't upload it again into your product gallery. If not, the image will be duplicated. All right, so the next thing, if you scroll down, is here you're going to select the category that this product or the item belongs to. All right, so for this now, I can place it under earphone. I can also put let me just place it under headphone, and let me just put it on that speaker. So you can select as many category. If for any reason you can't find your category, you can also click here to add new category. All right, so this is where you put in tags. All right, so for this tag now, I can put in maybe the name of the brand, the brand of this earphone. I can just use a particular word to use as tag. Now if you don't want to use tag, you can just leave it like that. So if you set up brand, this is where you put in a brand, maybe whatever brand it belongs to. Okay, you can set it up here. Right, so basically that's everything about uploading a simple product. Then once you are done, you go ahead and click on publish. All right, so you can see now it's already published. So this is the link. So if I should open this in a new tab for us to see what it looks like, so you can see it here. This is it here. Now it is on sale because we put it at the regular price as $4.99, but we said the sale price is $3.50, and that's why you're also seeing this here, that is sale. Right, so if you scroll down, so you can see that this is the product image and these are the other images that we added. That's the product gallery. So that's why I said there is no need to put in the same image that you use for your product image and your gallery images. Okay, so to avoid duplicated image. All right, so this is it on how to create a simple product. So you can see it here, the description. Remember when I said you should format it properly? So this is how it will look like. All right, so now let me come back here. Now, what if you want to do, if you, the same process, now there's a difference. What if you want to do a variable product? So if I should click on this simple product now, you see that there's a path for variable products. All right. So this group product basically is if you want to sell a group of products, and this is a standard affiliate product. That means you want to sell a product that is not on your store. All right, so you just list it on your store. Once they click on buy now, it will take them to another website where the product is being listed. All right, so but that's not what we need. The major ones that we are going to be using is simple product and variable product. But I just say I should mention this too. So now if you click on variable products, all right, so you can see it's telling us to add variations. Start adding attribute rather, but we've already done that if you remember. Okay. So if you click on variable product, now if you click on this question mark, it says a product with variation, each of which may have different SKU, price, stock, and so on. All right. So basically variable product are product that has options. All right. So now let me walk you through it. So for general, you're going to put in a tax status. All right. So whatever tax that is applicable to it to enter the other the tax class. All right. Just the same way we do for simple product. So you come over to inventory, you put in your SKU. If all this applies to, you go ahead and fill the information. Now for shipping also, you put in your shipping class. Let me leave this as no shipping class. You put in your weight and then your dimension for link product. Now the major difference now between this simple product and variable product is this attributes and variation. All right. So if I come over here and click on attributes now, for this particular product, so if I click on add existing, okay, so you can see based on color and then based on maybe an iPhone. So if I should click on color, okay, and make sure these two options is checked, use it for variation and then visible on the product page. Now I can select all the values, and remember we created black, red, and white. So let's say I have it in black and I also have it in white. Okay, I can also select all. Okay, so then I can go ahead and click on save attributes. Okay, so remember now I selected only one attribute, which is color. You can have as many attributes as color, maybe based on color, based on size. Depending on the product, the attributes will be different based on color, size, length, and the likes. Okay, so once that is saved, okay, you come over to variation. So you can generate variation or you can add them manually. All right. So once you generate the variation, it will bring a different possible combination of those variations. All right. Now, because we only choose black and white, that's why we are having only two. For example, I'm assuming we have variation based on color and size. Okay. Maybe we have two sizes like big and small. So this thing, it will mix the variation such that we'll have black that is big, black that is small. Okay. We're also going to have white big, white small. I hope you understand. So it will mix all the possible combination that you have. All right, so you can see now we are going to enter information for black and for white. So if you click on it, this is where you're going to enter. If you have a product image for the black color of the product, okay, maybe this headphone now, we have the black product. This is where you're going to upload the image. If you have a separate SKU, you put it here, and then this is where you're going to enter the regular price for the black variation of this product. Okay, and if the price is the same thing with that of the white, maybe they are the same price, fine, you can also put it. So let's say for the black now, we want to sell it for $500. All right, so we are not putting it on sale. All right, then the weight, if you want to put in all this information, fine. Now the shipping class, you can see here it says same as parent, same as parent. That means all the products, I mean, that means this particular product, either you choose black or white, they have the same shipping class, the same tax class. All right, so now for white now, the same thing. If you have a separate image for white, you can go ahead and upload it. But if you don't have a separate image, whatever image you upload here is what will represent what is what will stand for either of the variation. All right, for both of the variation. So here, but if you have a separate image for it where to show the white, you go ahead and upload it. If you want to put in an SKU, now maybe for the price, now you can also have them at the same price. Okay, I can also decide to give it 500. Maybe either you are choosing white or black, you are getting it at the same price. Okay, but maybe I want to say, okay, the white version is $450. All right, and if you want to put in your weight, your dimensions, you can go ahead. So this is how you go ahead and fill in those information. When you are done, you click on save. All right, so with this now, we've been able to create a product with variation. That's product with options. All right, so once you are done, you can see every other thing is still the same thing. The product image, the gallery, category, everything is the same thing. So once you are done, you go ahead and click on publish. Okay, remember, because we are just updating this, then you can go ahead and click on publish. Okay, so now let's take a look at what this product look like now. So you can see we are currently on the product page, and if you look here, okay, you can see color, choose option. So black, that is when the cost will come out, I mean the price. So if I select white, okay, you can see 450, and it's telling me now that we have 50 in stock. All right, so basically that is how you add products to your e-commerce store. Okay, so don't forget, so once you come over to all products, so what you just do is to just go ahead and delete all these products that you have here, and then you start adding your own products. Okay, all right, so we've looked at WooCommerce, we've looked at products. So the next thing we want to look at is, now if you click on payment, it will still take you back to this WooCommerce settings under payment to set up payments. So now let's look at analytics and then marketing. Now, if you over analytics, you're going to see different options here: overview, products, revenue, order, and then coupon. All right, so our major interest now is coupon, where I want to show you how you can create a coupon. So if you come over to marketing, also just click on coupon. All right, so now this is the overview for analytics. So if you see what is here now, this is where you are going to see your analytics. Once you start making sales, all right, you're going to be, this is going to make sense. You can select the date range. You're going to see your total sales, your net sales, total order, product sold, and then variation sold. Okay, so since we've not started making sales, this we don't have much data here, but that's what this place is meant for. So let me close it. So for the coupon site, all right, so we are currently in the coupon place, so I'll show you how to create a coupon. So once you, like, again, if you over marketing, you see coupon, so click on it. So you can see here add new coupon, or you can click create your first coupon, whichever one. So let me click on add new coupon. So this is what it looks like. So this is where I'm going to put in your coupon code. So you can click here to generate a coupon. It will just generate a list of random numbers. But let's say I want to put in my own coupon. Maybe I want to use a coupon code Black Friday deal. All right, so maybe once they put in this code as a coupon code, they are going to get a particular percentage or discount. All right, so now let's come to coupon data. So under general, we have the coupon type. So we have a percentage discount, fixed cart discount, and fixed product discounts. Okay, so let's say I want to do percentage discounts. Okay, so it asks you a coupon amount. So this is I'm going to put the percentage. Maybe I want to do 100%. Okay, just for tutorial purpose. So you can do 10%. Now, if you do a fixed cart discount, that means you're just going to enter a particular amount that you want to give them when checking out. All right. Then fixed products. This will apply to a particular product. Okay. So let me do percentage and let me do 100%. So do you want to allow free shipping? So check this box if this coupon grants free shipping. So if it also grants free shipping, you can go ahead and click on it. Okay, so coupon expiring date, this is when you want the coupon to expire or to stop working. All right, so this is where you do that. Okay, now you look at the usage restriction for this particular coupon. Now, do you want them to have a minimum spend before they can apply the coupon? Okay, maybe they have to purchase an item of, let's say, maybe $200, $50, $1,000 before they can use that coupon or to be qualified to use that coupon. Okay, so this is where you put it. If you also have them to have a maximum value. So if you don't understand anything, again, if anywhere you see this question mark, you can just over it. For example, minimum spend, they said this field allows you to set the minimum spend allowed to use the coupon. Okay, then this field allows you to set the maximum spend subtotal allowed when using the coupon. So the next is individual use only. So he said, check this box if this coupon cannot be used in conjunction with other coupons. All right, so let me check this. So that means if probably you have more than one coupon on your site, so they cannot use just more than one. All right, so exclusive sales item, check this box if this coupon should not apply to items on sale. All right, so that means if there's an item on sale, they can't use this coupon on it. All right, so because you've already done discount on the product already, but it's optional anyway. If you still want to make them to be able to use it, fine. So exclude sales item. All right, so if there's a product, search for products, then exclude a particular product. If you don't want a particular product to qualify for this coupon, you can do so. Maybe it's a product category or so. Allowed emails. So for this list of allowed billing emails to check against when an order is placed. Okay, so if there's a particular emails that you don't want them to be able to use the coupon, fine, you can put it inside here. Okay, so those are the options that is available here. You might not need to actually touch everything. The major thing is on the general restriction. Then usage limits, these are another important one. Usage limit per coupon. How many times do we want them to be able to use that coupon? You can put it here. If it's unlimited, fine. Limit usage to X item. So apply all to all quantity, to all qualified item in the cart. Okay, then usage per user. How many times can a user use it? Okay, is it just once or 5? You know, there are some coupon that will tell you that 5 per user, 10 per user. Okay, so this is where you set all that up. But if you don't want to create any limits, you can just leave it the way it is. So once you are done, go ahead and click on publish. So with that now, we've been able to use, to create a coupon. So don't worry, we are going to test the coupon code when we are testing our website for purchase. All right. So the next thing we want to do now is to show you how you can design your own page. All right. So let's go back and view our own page. If you see our home page, you see that our home page is already created, okay? But if there is need for you to change some things around, maybe you want to change some images, maybe this is not the kind of products that you want to sell and you want to maintain the layout, okay? So how do you go ahead to change all of this? So let me quickly walk you through that process. So now you come back to your dashboard, all right? So from a dashboard, you're going to see pages. So this is it right here. So once you click on all pages, and then you're going to see the list of pages that you currently have on your website. Now, remember earlier at the beginning of the video, when we came to pages, the only page we saw was privacy policy, okay? But since we imported the demo, you can see all these pages has been created for us, okay? Now you can see that we have the home page right here. Right, so this is home. Nice, right in front page because that's our front page. Now the meaning of this Elementor is that that's a page builder. It's actually a plugin, okay, that allows you to create pages. Okay, we call it a page builder. So once it's here, that means the page was created using Elementor page builder. So once you come over here, you see click on edit with Elementor. So once you click on it, so this page will definitely open up. All right, so there's a notification here. You can just go ahead and skip. All right, so this is the Elementor that is responsible for this side panel and this and every other thing you are seeing here. And this is showing you the pages. So once you start to design to add certain features, you're going to be seeing it live. All right, so let me walk you through how to make some changes to this. But before then, if you are new to Elementor, let me just give you a brief walkthrough on what is on our screen. So guys, if you are still here to subscribe, please go ahead right now, click on that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. Give the video some thumbs up if you are finding value in this video. Okay, so now this part here is you can see preview changes. That means if you make changes on your website, you want to check what it looks like. This is where you're going to click on. And this is for help, this is for search, and this is an announcement or what's new. Now, if you are working on your website, it's currently shown in desktop mode, like you can see here. If you want to see what it looks like in tablets, you click here. Okay, if you want to see what it will look like in mobile view, you're going to click here. So the reason why you need to also make sure that once you are designing your website, you switch between this screen type is because sometimes you might be working on a website. If you look at it on desktop, okay, it looks good, the text is okay, the sizes are okay, the images are okay, but once you check it on mobile, they are not looking good. So this will give you an idea of what your website looks like on mobile view and if you need to adjust anything. All right, and sometimes whatever settings you do on the mobile view, it will just be for mobile view, it won't affect the desktop view. All right, so this is for page settings if you want to do any settings, and this is for to switch between any other page. All right, now for this particular one, you are seeing structure is this guy that you are seeing that is floating around the screen. You can also hang it at the side panel, but personally, uh, because to take some space, I always just have it float around the screen. Okay, so once you drag it out, okay, so basically it makes it easy for you to navigate different sections of the site. There are some designs that you might have or some layout that if you over your mouse or your cursor right, you might not be able to click it. But with this now, you know, every section, the way it is being arranged, you can easily come here and locate that particular section, okay, or widget. Now for this, now this is for site settings. Okay, so if you click on it, you can set your global colors, your global fonts, your typography, okay? Because if you are designing your website, there are some places that will ask you what typography you want to use. If you select the font, that means you've already selected a particular typography that you want to use for your site. That means typography also consists of your fonts, your font size, line spacing, and all the likes. So those are the options here, the layout, and every other thing. So what I'll just advise is do make sure you take your time to come over all of these settings, and any changes that you do make sure you see the effect immediately. Okay. And if you come to where we have this Elementor logo, so if you click on it, you're going to see history. So if you want to go back to, or you want to undo some of the effects that you've done, you can use Ctrl Z, or you can come over to this history. So because we've not done any changes, you're going to see it right here. Okay. So another one is this plus right here. So this plus icon is what you're going to use to add element. Now, if you see what we have on this side panel, they are called widgets. Okay, so these are what we are going to drag into this our workspace. Okay, for everything that we are going to need, we have heading. If you need an heading, you just drag it into wherever you need the heading. So we have images, text editor. Okay, so this one that is having like a padlock is showing us that we don't have access to it. They are premium. Okay, but even without having access, there are a lot of things that are available to us that we can also use to achieve our own website. And if you also scroll down, you see that even the theme itself provided us with a list of other elements and widgets that we can also make use of. Okay, so to start with, if you have this section, if I click on this six, I'm trying to click on these 6 dots, but it's not allowing me. So this is where this structure comes handy. So if I click it over here, you can see this is it here, right? So if you click here, you're going to see 3 different section: layout, style, and advanced in most cases. Okay, and then if you come over to style, also this is where you can change anything that you want to change based on the background. If you want to change the background, okay, you have the background overlay if you want to do anything with that. Right. So but if you click on this container now, where we have this container, if you click this arrow to show you all the elements that is present in this first section. Remember, this is representing the first section here. Under this container also, if you click on this arrow, there is a different container inside of the container. All right, so you can see this where we have modern heading. So if I click on this modern heading now, so you see, so this where we have this bit solo. So you can see it here. This is where it was made, this bit solo, and then we have this secondary heading where we have wireless. All right. So let's say I want to change it to Bluetooth. Okay, so you can see this is where you can adjust all of this text if you want to adjust them. All right. So if you also come to style, this is where you can format all the text, the typography. So that means if you want to change the size, maybe you want it to be a little bigger. All right. So you can also do that from here. So if you come over to the secondary heading, the description, this is where you can also edit that. All right. So the advanced image, so if you click on advanced image, this is where you can change this image. So you just come over here to choose image, and then it will take you to your media files where you can upload the image you want to change it to. If you look at modern button, this is it right here where we have shop by category. So if you want to change the text to maybe shop now, so this is where you also change this text to shop now. All right, so that we have it as shop now. Okay, so you might not need to do any other change. If you want to show where it will link to, so what page do you want it to take you to? So it has already been set to the shop page, all right? But if you want to have a custom page, so let me clear this now. Maybe you want to link it to a particular page. You put in the link to that page right here. Or if you want to set it to the shop page, so if you click on dynamic tag, come over to page URL, and then here you select from the list of pages that we have created, you select shop. All right, so that is how to set that up. Okay, so if you look at modern heading also, so this is where we have these headphones are shown in the background. I think it should be under okay, so this text that we are having here, all right, so this is what is responsible for that. Okay, so just the same way we do that, you can also come over to, now this is another section right here. So you can see this is clickable. So you can see we're already in the other container. Now let me close this. So we are currently in the second container. Once I click here, okay, so you can see now this is clickable, unlike the first one that was not clickable. And then we have all of this section. If you click on this arrow now, it will show you this drop down. So if you click it again, click on advanced image. So this is talking about the image right here. The modern heading talks about the text that is with it. The modern button talks about this button right here. So if you want to make any changes here, just the same way I showed you here is what you are going to do. And then you can continue like that for all the O sections, all right, for all the O sections. So if you want to change this image, some of them, if you click on them straight away, you'll be able to locate them. For example, this PS image that we are having. So if I should see, let's see if I should click on it, so you can see it has taken me straight up to where the image is, okay, under the particular section or container. So it makes it easier for you. If I click on button, it has taken me to where button is. So basically some designs might be too close that you will not be able to click it. So that is where this structure that we have here becomes very handy. All right, so and if there's any section that you don't want, you can just use this 6 dot here to click on this X button to delete it. You can see delete container has appeared. All right, same thing happens to this. You can see as I click on it, it has taken me straight to the image. Let's see if we can click on this text. I can't really click on this text. So what you do is, since it is within this particular container, all right, so you have to narrow down to all the other containers and elements that we have inside of it. So if I should scroll, open them up one after the other. So if I click on modern heading, okay, this is it. All right, you can see 20% off. Right, so that means if you open the secondary heading, you can see find smile. All right, so this is how you go ahead and check out all the things. Now for this particular one, we have recent products, and if you want a new widget, so let me click on this plus icon. Before then, let me scroll down. Okay, so this is for news. So let's say you want to create a new section. This is how you do it. You click on this plus, you select this. Now we have different layouts. We have this direction column. This is direct facing down, facing right. We have 2 column. We have this 2 column in 1:3. Okay, we have this 4 column. All right, so let's use this as an example. If I should select this now, and let's say I want to use this heading. So what you can just do is, let's see, you can see we also have the same heading. I can just go ahead and copy this. Okay, I can just go ahead and copy it, come over here and then paste it. Okay, so maybe now instead of using best-selling products and this, I'll not change this to my own preferred text. So maybe I want to change this to recently added, or maybe any other text. You come over to secondary heading, you put in appropriate text, all right? Then you come over to this plus. Now you can use any of this widget right here, okay? So you can see we have a whole lot of widgets here. Let's see. So if you just want to bring in anyone, okay, yeah, okay, recent product. So this is a recent product. So you can see you just drag it in. All right, so you can see to show you a list of product that was recent based on what you've selected. So now you can select, maybe do you want a particular category of product do you want to show up here, okay? And then do you want to exclude posts without media, okay? Yes, that means any product that is uploaded that doesn't have a product image, I don't want them to show up. So you can also sort the order. Is it based on the dates? Okay, order by date or order by, is it ascending or descending? Okay, then only products. So there are a lot of options here that you can actually work with. If you want to select the layout, is it 4 column, is it 3 column, you want it to be in 3 columns. Then if I come to display, so you can see display product price. Okay, it is currently turned on. Display sales badge, that means if a product is on sale, should it show it? It's currently turned on. Display posts media like image and video. Preload images of display product title, product category. Do you want to show the category? Okay, so you can see the category is showing up: earphone, laptop. Okay, so I don't want it. If I don't want that, I'll turn this off. Then display add to cart button, which is this button right here. Okay, what else? So all of these options are self-customizable. Okay, then if you come over to this, we've looked at this. If you look at style, all right, so this is where you can select your border. You can also style the title. Okay, so you can select your title color right here. So if you click here, you'll be able to select. You can see it has changed to red. So let me return it back to default. If you want to give it some spacing, all right, so you can see it here. Now, like I will always say, make sure whatever changes you are doing when you're on Elementor, you are seeing it on your website. If not, just return it back to what it was. Okay, so for you to understand this properly, so what I'll just advise is you come over here and then you go through some of these elements, especially these ones that have this flux. This is for posts, then this is for, so this is for flux. So go through it. This is for recent commented posts, heading, advanced image, circle cart, divider. So we have a lot of things that you can actually work with depending on the kind of layouts that you want to create. Okay, so that's briefly on how to navigate WordPress and Elementor. So let me just go ahead and delete this because this is just for tutorial explanation purpose. Okay, so basically that is how you go ahead to, for example, this one was done using, so if I should click on it now, this is grid and carousel post. That's the name of this particular widget. So another thing that can help you is you can click on anything. Once you click on it, the title here will tell you what kind of widgets that was dragged in. This is modern heading. So if I click on this plus icon now, and then we look for modern heading, so you can see now this is modern heading. This modern particular widget was used to create this. Okay, so if I should click on this image, so advanced image was what was used to bring in this image. Okay, so if I should click here now, so recent products was what was used here. Okay, so basically that's how you get to know some of the widget that was used to create certain pages. So that's just the walkthrough on this particular home page in case you need to do modification or anything about around these pages. So additionally, if you look at this section now with all this background color, black, yellow, red. So for that now, you can see this is 3 sections. So if you click here, and I see that there's this one, this two, this three. So once you click here, this brown, ash color, or gray color, so you can see, you're going to see this edit container. If you come over to style, so you see that the color here is showing black. So this is the color shade of black. If you also click here, okay, you see you have this layout, you have style. If you come to style, so you can see this is where they selected the color. All right, same thing applies here and every other places that you are seeing colors like that. Now if you look at the edges that is curved, okay, so if you also come to style, and then let's say under border, you can see there's a border radius that is responsible for the curve. So what I would advise is make sure you take your time to go through all of these effects, okay, so that you can really understand what is going on right there. All right. So lastly, before we leave here, make sure that any changes that you are doing, you are clicking on this publishing button. So that means to save, because if you do anything here and you didn't save, and maybe your system just suddenly went off, or maybe something just go wrong, you're unable to, to publish. That publish is just like save. Okay, you might just lose all the customization, all the design, all the layout that you have done. So always make sure from time to time, once you are doing anything within Elementor, you are always publishing. Okay, make sure you always save your work. So that is this on the home page. So now let's move to the next part of this video. So now we are back to our dashboard, and what I want to show you now is how to create a page. All right, now if you remember earlier, the page we had here was just privacy policy, but we have other pages that was created for us by virtue of the demo that we imported. Now if you look at it, that maybe there is a particular page you want to create. Maybe for example, we don't have FAQ page, we don't have maybe terms and condition page, and you want to just create any pages whatsoever. So once you come to your dashboard, you go on pages. So you see this option here, add new page. So go ahead and click on it. So once you click on it, it will open up like this. This is where you enter the page title. So maybe you want to create your FAQ page. You enter your title. Now you select, now the page layout has been set by default. So you can see default layout, default. So in most cases, depending on the kind of page you want to create, the default setting is okay. All right. Then for this now, the template is set to default templates. But if you want to create like the home page, okay, is full width is always recommendable. All right. Another thing I'll just advise you to do is take your time to set a page to full width, save, publish it, and view what the page looks like. Set it to canvas, Elementor canvas, save it, check what the page look like. So come here also under content layout, switch between all of this, okay, and then see how the page looks like. So this will help you in understanding the different type of layouts that we actually have, okay. But by default, this is okay like this, and the default template is quite okay. All right, except if you want to do a home page, you click on Elementor full width. If you want to create a page that won't have header or footer, this Elementor canvas is what you are going to use, okay. So once you do that, you go ahead and click on publish. So publish. So once that is done, if you want to create your page with Elementor Page Builder, so go ahead and click on Elementor, edit with Elementor, and Elementor page will open up to you. So as you can see it here, we already have a fresh one. So what you can do now is to start bringing in some of this widget. Maybe you want to use, first of all, you start to bring in your section. So you click here, maybe you want to use a single container section, right? Then you can see, you select how the layout, if the layout is okay like this, fine. Then you click on this plus, and then you start bringing in the different widget that you want to use, okay. So if I should scroll down now, maybe I want to use modern heading, so I'll just come over here, drag the modern heading. I can go ahead and start designing and customizing, okay. So basically that is how you go ahead to create a page. Now what about if you want to create a menu, okay? For example, now if you come back to our site now, okay, so you can see all these items that is here, the home, the shop, about us, contact us, about, they are actually menu, okay? So I'm not talking about the logo and this, just this is menu. How do you go ahead to create it? So that's what I want to do now. So if I should come back to my dashboard, I come over to appearance, okay? So you click on menus. So once you are here, you can see we already have home, shop, about, blog, and contact us. And you can see it here, home, shop, about, blog, and contact us. All right, so we already have menu created for us by default. Now this menu, if you want to rearrange them, you can see you can just drag them the way how best you want to arrange them. Now, from your list of pages that you have created, okay, so you see all of your pages here. If there's any page that you want to add to your menu, so for example, maybe you want to add this FAQ page, so I can just click on it. Then you can see the option add to menu, then it will appear here. So you can then select where you want to put it. Now this is from pages. If you also want to use posts as your menu, all right. So the menu is not only limited to what we have at the top. Okay, if you want to create that for the footer, even though this was created using different technique, which I'm still going to share with you. All right, so you can also use post for menu. If you want to do a custom link, maybe it is not a page, but you just want it to be in your menu. Maybe you want to have a text, maybe you want to have a button, maybe when they click on buy now, and then you want to take them to a particular product, you can just put the link of that product like this, and to appear on the menu, you see add to menu. If you want to use a particular category or a particular any of this, okay, to show up on your menu, you can also do that. For example, maybe I want to add this my account page. I can just click and add to menu, okay. Also, this particular menu, like I said, you can also rearrange them. If you want to create a sub menu, so you're going to have something like this. So you can see maybe under this contact us, I want this FAQ to be there, so I'll just drag it to the right. You can see sub item. All right, under this FAQ I can also have another sub item. So you can see this is how you create a different layer of sub item. All right, so let me return this. So those are some of the explanation under. Then don't forget to save. Now we've created a menu for, this is it for header menu. You can also go ahead and create a different menu type, okay. So we've saved this already. You can also create a new menu. Maybe you want to have a menu for the footer, or maybe another different menu for another section. It's the same thing, just give it a name. So let me just call this, maybe I want to create this for, so let me just call this menu 2, or maybe header or footer. Then you click on create menu. So then the same process, then you can then go to your list of pages, your post, or whatever one you want to use to create your menu. So let's say I want to use let me just pick it randomly. Maybe I want to use this now. I can just click on add to menu. All right, so you can see we already have our menu too. So let me save this, because we are still going to make reference to it as we progress in this video. So you can see now this is how you can go ahead to create your menu. So now that we've done with the menu, the next thing is to customize. So to do that, you come over to this dashboard again. So where we have appearance, so you can see it appearance, then you see customize. So go ahead and click on it. So once the page open up, we're going to have this particular page. Okay, so you can see we have a lot of options. General appearance, we're going to go through each of them. Now you see your website on the right side. Okay, now before we start exploring, remember when we were working on the menu, when we arranged it and then we have our contact us and then we place the FAQ right beneath it. So this is how it will look like. So you see this arrow. So this is how they create some of those sub menu. All right, and you can see my accounts that we just added now. So that's my account. All right, so now let's go through all of these options and see what we can achieve there. And then we have our website by the right in case we make any changes. So first, under general, we have the general layout. So if you click on general layout, this is where we're going to see our site's layout. So by default, it is okay like this as full. But if you adjust it this way, you might not see the effect for this, but once you publish and then you view it, you are going to see the effect. But let me leave it as this. All right, so I can come back. If you go general typography, this is where you change your typography for your website for different heading type. We have heading 1, heading 2, like that. So if you want to change so if you click here, so this is where you can select the font family, the size, the weight and everything. Okay, so if you remember some places where we are creating working on and it was showing default, that means there's a settings here that has been done that it is actually following. All right, so page animation and preloader, if you want to use that feature, you can turn it on. So you can see it here. So basically those preloader are some icons that will show up when pages are opening. So if you want to use that, you can turn it on. So but let me turn that off. Okay, so if I should come back, and again, don't forget, once you do any changes, always remember to publish. So if you want to use a custom JavaScript code, this is where you enter the code. Okay, so you can see there is one here already. So let's go back. Then Google API key and SEO. So if you want to do this, you want to put in your Google Analytic code, your Google Map API key. So this is where you can easily put that. All right. So that's it on general. If you come over to appearance, so for appearance is where you set your global colors. So if you see your primary color is set to red, secondary color, and then your text color. So anywhere these colors are being used, so once you change it here, it will change on the website. So what it does is that it saves you the stress or the time of editing the color manually, okay, and to make sure that the color code is consistent. So that's one of the advantage of these global colors. So website background, we currently didn't use any background image, so it's disabled. So basically, if you enable it, it will allow you to be able to have an image in the background of the website. Okay, so another thing is just like when we were working with Elementor Page Builder, there are a lot of options here that you might not actually need to touch. You might just need to leave it like that, but I just need to go through it so that you can understand that some of these options actually exist. Okay, so content background color. So if you want to set a background color for your website, you can do that right here. So let's say if you put it to red, so you can see the entire background will change to red. Okay, so let me undo that. Okay, so I've cancelled that. So let's go back. So this is website frame, so it is currently disabled. And then skin color, so you can see the different skin color that is available to you. So if you should come back, mobile browser, address bar color, so it is currently set to red. If you're on your phone and then you open this website, the tab color will be red. So this is where you select the color to be red. All right, so you might have come across that. Then for forms, so this is where you can select the form scheme, the label, and then the layout. Okay, away from that, we have the sidebar. So sidebar appearance, do you want this is where you can select the family, the size, and everything. The title, you don't know how the title should appear, toggle widgets, expand widgets on in it. All right, so all of these options is what you can do within appearance. Okay, so guys, if you are finding value in this video, again, please give the video a thumbs up. Do make sure you subscribe. If you are still yet to subscribe, go ahead right now, click on that subscribe button. So now let's look at the header. So if you click on header now, we have header templates. Now you can see this particular section is what we refer to as the header, and the header include this logo, the menu, this button, and all of this icon. All right, so by default we already have an header, but if you don't like this header, you can see there are different header that we have here that you can choose from. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think everything together is 10. So this is the default header that is there. But if you want to edit it, once you click on edit with header builder, it will open up an Elementor page. So once the page open up, you can see you can easily edit it with Elementor. Remember we've touched Elementor briefly earlier. Okay, so one major thing that you might need to change in case you are maintaining this header type is this button here. All right, so they didn't link it to the right page. So what you do is once you click on it, you come over to where we have link. So just cancel it and then click on this dynamic tag, come to pages. So for pages, select type, select my account. All right, so this will make it easy for the my account. Then you can change the name also to my account instead of login. Okay, so this is how to set that up. If you want to set in a background color, once you click here, you come over to style. Okay, you can see you can use a gradient color or a classic color, and then you pick any color that you want to use for the background. Okay, so it's as simple as that. Now to make it easy, let me show you how, if you want to have a different design or different layout, you can also do so. For example, let me show you this. If I should click here now, I click on this, and then it is, and I decide to use let's say this 3 column now. So I click on it. I want to use this 3 column to create the header. All right, so for this now, this is our logo. So what I'll just do is I'll click on this plus icon. I search for logo. All right, so I just drag in the logo. So the reason why I want to quickly walk you through is in case you want to create yours. Now for this is this widget is the navigation menu. You can see it here. So I'll come over here and search for navigation menu. So navigation menu. So this is it. All right, and then for this, it was created. This is button. So if I click on the plus icon, I search for button. I come here, I drag it in. So for this icon now, if I should click on it, it is a modern search, and this is for shopping carts. Okay, so let me just use the shopping carts. Let me leave the other one. So if I should drag it here. Okay, so the next thing is just for you to format it. All right, so if I should look at it, so you can see this is what we are having here. Now for this particular section, which is just below it, to make it be on a vertical, on a horizontal line, so just click on this container side. You'll be on this layout, scroll down, change the direction from vertical, you change it to horizontal so you can see it. So basically the reason why I'm just walking you through the process of creating this is to show you that you can also decide to introduce a different kind of design. All right, for example, you can also have another single one, okay, where you are just going to bring in, let me click on plus, a text editor, okay, so bring this in, for example. All right, and then under style, I want to centralize it. Okay, now if I should come over to this container side and I hide everything, now this part here, if I should drag it up, okay, so I can decide to have this content here, this content that I've just put here, maybe an instruction that's okay, get 10% off. I can use it as an announcement. Okay, then I'm going to format this, customize it, the way that best fits. Maybe I want to give it a background color. Okay, so I'm just letting you to understand that there are a lot of possibilities that you can achieve with your header with Elementor once you are doing a custom header like this. Okay, now for all of this, also for the logo side, once you click on it, there are a lot of customization options here. If you want to centralize it, this is it here. Okay, and then if you come over here, if you want to adjust the width of the image, the opacity, the over, all right, you can also do that. Now for the menu, navigation menu too, it comes with different styling option. It's a display menu splitter. You can see that there's a dot here. If you say no, all right, display sub menu indicator, like for example, there's a sub menu here, it has indicated it. Now if I click on no, you can see it is not indicating that there's a sub menu. So all this, if you come to mobile also, you can do that of mobile view. Then if you come to style, so this is where you can select for menu items. For the normal, you select the color. What if you over it? Now, for example, if I over it, I want it to show red. I'll come over to over, then select the color to red. Okay, so you can see once I over it, you can see it's showing red. So the possibilities are limitless. Okay, so for the menu selected item, if you're on a particular menu, what color should it show? What typography should it show? Shadow? should this have background? All of these are what you can do right here. Same thing applies to this button. You can also customize this button that we have here. We've already put in a text. Where do you want it to link to? Okay, then you select just the same way I showed you here. Now, one other thing you'll notice that this thing is not properly at the center. So for you to fix that, if you click on this 6 icon, you scroll down, okay, then you select okay, let it to be justify center, and then this also should be at the center. You can see it has brought it down. Okay, so these are all the customization option that is available to you once you are doing your header. So let me just go ahead and close this. And don't forget, once you are done, you make sure you publish. Now, I only created those two just to explain to you how you can achieve this type of header. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So now let's come back to customization. So those are the options that is available under header. If you scroll back for the settings now, if you want to use a sticky header, you turn this on. So what that means is if you are scrolling down the page, if you want your heading should still be showing up, okay, so that's the meaning. So if I publish it now and I refresh this page, I'm going to be having a sticky header. Then for your sticky header, if you want to give it a background color, okay, so that it can be visible and obvious, you can do that from here. So let's go back. So those are the options under header. Now for blogs, so once you're on the blog page, it's also advisable make sure you open your blog page so that you can be seeing the effects that is taking place. So for single post, this is how you're going to set how you want your single post to appear. So do you want it to appear as a no sidebar? Do you want it to have a sidebar? Okay, should it be at the right or at the left? So this is where you set up all of those. Okay, you want to display the post media, that's the image or the default, the featured image. Do you want to display them? Okay, so let me come back. For instance, you can see now the blog page has opened up. It's currently set to full width, and that's why you are seeing a full width. There is no sidebar. So if I select the option to have a right sidebar, so you can see that it has shifted, okay, and this is the right sidebar, all right. And also the sidebar, you can select how you want it, okay. So these are all the options there. So if I should go back from single post, so single post title, so this is how you can set how you want your title to appear. It's currently set to this. So if I select this option now, you can see, all right, so it's shifting it to this section. So I should put it like this. Okay, so that means it will be looking like this. So it all depends on you and what you actually want. Okay, so let's go away from that. So now let's go to the blog page. So on the blog page also, so let me open up the blog page again. So here you can select the template of how you want it to appear. It's currently set to the default. So if you change it to this, okay, you're going to see the effect right here. All right, so the same thing, the blog slider, the blog category and author. Okay, so this is where you can set up everything that just have to do with the blog. This is where you set them up. So away from blog, we also have the page. This is where you can also select your page layouts. Okay, just like we look at blog, the page title, whatever way you want it to appear, you can set that up. All right, so let's come over to WooCommerce. So single product page. All right, so let me come over to our shop page. So just like the blog, this is where you're going to select how you want your single product to appear. Do you want it to appear as a full width? Do you also want it to appear with sidebar or without sidebar? You can see it's currently set to full width. We don't have sidebar, but if you select the option with sidebar, so you can see a sidebar will appear right beside the product. Okay, so the choices is yours. Okay, also your shop page. So if I should open up the shop page, you can also select how you want your shop page to appear. You can see this is currently what is there, left sidebar, and this is it, right? If I change it to right, you can see this bar will come to the right. Okay, so the choice is yours. The product category page and tags, you can also select the layout. All right, so now let's come over to footer. So for footer template, so we already have a template for the footer. Now the footer starts from here. From here, we have this and all this image here. So, and there are other templates that is available to you that you can choose from. Just the same way we did the header. If I click on edit with edit footer, it's going to open up a new page on Elementor. All right, so while that is opening up, so you can choose from any of these. If you also come back, there are some other settings. Okay, so this is where you put in your copyright text, okay, which is this text that we are having right here. Okay, so copyright, current year, and then your site's name, then all right reserved. So if you also want to put something like maybe websites by, maybe the name of your agency, PA Digitech for mine, all right, you can easily do that. This is where you do that. Then if you want to show privacy policy, you turn this on. If you want to show theme attributes, you can also turn this on. All right, so if you want to enable sticky footer, all right, where the footer will just be sticky, you can also do that. So that's it on a footer. So now the footer page has opened up. Just like I said, just the same with the header section. You can come over here and edit this. You can change this probably to logo of different brands. And if you don't want this, you can just go ahead and delete it. Now this is this is set to logo. If you want to change this text, this is for social media icon. So basically, once you click on it, okay, you'll be able to edit everything. Okay, so this is it here. Different social media icon. You can add a link to your social media page. Now the one I want to really talk about is this links. Now this was created using, so once you click on it, flexible list. So you can see this is different from the header, but you put in your text and you put in a link here, right? So then if you want to do the layout is quite okay. Then you want to style it based on the color. Okay, what happened, the text color. If you over it, what happens, all of this, you can also do that. Now, if you this is for the contact, if you don't need this contact, or you have, basically, if you have a different layout that you have in mind, you can also do that. If you don't want this subscribe, you can also take it out if you don't want. So for this, the MailChimp has been set up. So I'll also talk about how to set that up before the end of this video. Okay, so basically that's it on the footer. So we can now continue with our customization. So then we have the extra. So under extra, you can set your back to top button. It's currently turned on, which is this button you are seeing right here. Okay, this button here. So you can select the position that you want this to be. For performance, enable image preloader preview is currently turned off. Breadcrumb, okay, the breadcrumb length. Basically, the meaning of this breadcrumb is something like this. Okay, to show you from the home page, the particular page that you are. The login page, you can set how you want your login page to be. All right, so just in case I'm talking too fast, you can actually slow down the speed of the video. Okay. Next is site identity. Now this is where you're going to upload your logo. So once you come over here, you can remove this logo if you don't want. If you want to change it, you can go ahead and change it. Now logo 2 is sometimes you can also put in the same logo, but your logo 2 most times will show on a mobile or maybe on the side menu. Okay, then your site title, your tagline, your logo width. If your logo is too big, you can use this to adjust your logo width. Okay, then your site icon. So this way I'm going to put in your site icon. All right, so most times it will also be your logo. All right, so let me just use this as my site icon. Basically, okay, so like you can see here, it's because it's the logo itself is very small, but it's basically the text, I mean the icon that will show on your browser tab. So once you select it, you click on crop image. For example, on for Facebook now, you see blue F, and on Gmail you see the envelope with M. So those things are what we refer to as a site icon. So this is where you set that up. Don't forget to always publish. So if you should away from that, the menu. So you can see this is where you're going to set your different menu location. For the header menu, this is what we want to use. Remember the menu tool we created. So this is where you select your header menu. Your header secondary navigation, this is where you select. For footer menu, we actually did use the same menu type for the footer, so that's why this is left to select. All right, so I can go back away from menu. So for widgets, all right, so this is where you set your widgets. All right, so don't let us do it here. I'll still show you a separate place where you can set up your widgets. So let's go away from here. So we're almost done with some of the customization options. Now the next one is on-page settings. So this is where you're going to set your default home page. So our home page is currently set to home. So if yours is not set to home, make sure you set to home and leave it on static. All right. So if you put it on latest post, your blog page is what's going to show up once they once they type in your domain into a browser. Okay. So make sure it is on static page and home. All right. Then for your post page, select blog. All right, so let's blog as your post page. Okay, so let's come back. Then WPU like, this is a plugin that is doing this, so you can just look away from here. All right, there is additional WooCommerce settings right here. This is a store notice. Actually, our store is already live, so we won't be needing this. So this is unchecked already since our store is live. Product catalog. All these settings are okay by default, but if you want to change some things here, let me show you. We are currently on, let me open our shop page. Okay, so we are currently on our shop page now. So you see that we have products per row is currently set to 3, and if you increase it to 4, so you can see we're already having 4 columns. So this is where you can change that. And then if you also want to increase the row to also 4, all right, so you can also increase this to 4, and I need to change here. right? As long as you have enough products to cover up those space. So let me return it back to 3. So this is where you can adjust it. Now the fourth sorting, product sorting. So this is where you select that. Do you want to default sorting plus name? You can select any of these, or you can just, by default it is okay apart from setting the rows. Okay, catalog display, do you want it to show product or category? Showing product is okay, but at least it's a product that I want to see. Okay, so all of these settings is available here for product catalog. Then for product image, so if you're opening up a particular product, the width, okay, this is where you set up the width, okay, and then the ratio, and then the cropping and everything. All right, so the default setting is quite okay. Your checkout page, look, these are the informations that these are your set information that will appear there. If you have a terms and condition page, you include it here. Now, once they are checking out, this information will show up on their checkout page. So you can see this is, if you need to change it, this is where you can come and change it. All right. So let's come back. And then if you want to add additional CSS, like we have here for maybe for certain things on the website, this is where you can do that. So with that now, I've walked you through all the customization option that is available to you once you are creating your website, okay? So guys, now the next thing I want to do now is to go over to the widgets section. We had a widget section here. I said I'm not going to be using this. I'll be showing you a separate place where you can do that. So let's head over to widgets. So we're currently back to the dashboard. To access the widgets I was talking about, so come over to appearance and then you see widgets right here. So once you click on it, you'll be taken to this page. All right, so you can just go ahead and then close this. Okay, so this is where you are going to set some of these sidebars. All right, so your shop sidebar widget area, so this is where you're going to set it up and set all the, let me open it up. So if I should open up my shop page now, so this for this sidebar now, so this is where you're going to set up all the things that you want to appear. So if you click on this plus, all of this will show up. If you click on browse more, so right here you see all the things that you can add to your sidebar. So you can see here we have the WooCommerce sign-up form. So, and then you can also search for whatever it is that you want to put in there. So if you scroll down, you can see we have products category list. Okay, so it's also the list of product that we have. Then if you want to put in your product filter, okay, so you can see a preview on the right. So if you want to have this, so just click on it, right? So you can see it will appear here, right here. So if you want to also put in there are quite a number of things that you have here: product result counts, mini cards. Okay, if you want to put that on your sidebar, if you want to have maybe a blog post, if you also want to have image. Okay, so maybe you want to put in a particular image that once they click on it, to take them to the particular product. Okay, so there are a whole lot of things that you can actually use here. So once that is done, okay, you can put as many as possible, but you have to make sure that the space that you have on your shop site is enough to accommodate them. So that's another thing you need to pay attention to. So the same thing you do to your sidebar, okay, you also do the same thing to your blog site, to your blog section, okay. So you can see blog primary widget area, and then the blog secondary widget area. So once you put in some of those widgets, you go ahead and check what it looks like. All right, so once you are done, just go ahead, there's nothing much, you go ahead and then you update. Okay, so that is it on the widget. Another thing I want to talk about is how to add blog posts. So to do that, come over to posts. Okay, so you're going to add your blog post. So by default, we have some of these blogs that was created for us. So you can just go ahead to click on blog action, and then you move them to trash so that you can create your own blog posts that really match your kind of website. So once you're on the post, just click on add post. So once this page opens up, this is where you're going to put in your title and the content. Now let me use this as an example now. Maybe I want to create this post, for instance. So I'll just copy the title. So this right here is the title. And this is where I'm going to paste it. Okay. Now for the body of the post, this is where I'm going to put them. So you can just have, let's take this to be the body. So you can go ahead and paste it. Let me just start this on a new line. Okay, so if you also want to put in images, okay, so once you hover over this show up, that is, you want to put the image in between the text, you click on add block, you click on image, so you can upload the image from your computer or you can use from the media library. So let's say I want to put in this image. All right, so you can see it is there. If it's too big, you can adjust it, reduce it. So underneath here, so if you want to put in, just over your mouse below it, okay, click on this plus image. Okay, whatever you want to add, okay, so you can do that. So if you look at, apart from images, you can also create gallery, you can create a list. If you want a paragraph, you can see, there are a whole lot of things under pattern. We have all of these different blog section that you can actually bring into your blog. Okay, so basically, once you have done all of this, now all these defaults is okay the way it is. Now if you check on the side under this post, this is where you put in your featured image. Now your featured image is this. All right, this image. If I click on blog now, this picture that is showing here is what is our featured image. So this is where I'm going to upload it. So if I click here now, let's say I want to use this as my featured image, I click on select. All right, so if you want to post it immediately, you leave this as it is. If you want to let it to schedule to a later date, maybe I want to schedule it to go live on the 30th, I'll just select the date, but I want it to go immediately. I did it here. All right, so the default template is okay like that. Discussion is open. That means people can drop comments. So that's the meaning of this discussion. Whatever category that this post fall onto, you select it here. If the category is not available, okay, you can just add new category. Maybe I want this post to be under tablets. So I'll just put it add category. Okay, so that's done. If you want to put in some tags, so maybe I can see MacBook Pro, I can have a tag like, if you want to put in tags, maybe I want to have it as a tag as MacBook. Okay, you can separate it with comma, so as many as possible. Okay, and then once that is done, basically that's how you can create a blog post, and then you go ahead and click on publish. So publish. So with that, now we've been able to create a blog post. If you want to view it, so once you click here to view, you can see it now. So this is our featured image. All right, you can see this is the image we put in between some of those texts. All right, so you can see there's an option to add comments because we allowed or enabled it. All right, and you can see this is our sidebar right here. So that is how you create a blog. So another thing I want to show you is how to add users. Remember I mentioned about users earlier. So if you have an e-commerce website like this, you might not have all the time to manage it yourself. So you might need to bring in some people to help you manage certain things in your website. So to do that, come over to users, click on these users. So right here, you see all the users on your website, including the customers anyway. So to add a user, so you come over here, you click on add users, add user. So this is where you put in the person's username and the email. These are the two information that you need. And then you put in a password, put in the first name and last name. Now, the important one is this role. So by default, to be subscriber, basically they can't really do much as a subscriber. So we have different role. We have administrator, editor, author, contributor. All right. So these four rows comes with different levels of accessibility. Okay. Now, administrator is the highest. So if you put them as an administrator, that means they will have the same right as you. Okay. So they can easily come into the website and also do the same thing that you can do. You can also put them as an editor. Okay, you can put them as an author and a contributor. So that will give them different access. You can read more on the different roles that they'll be able to achieve. But as an administrator, also you need to also take notes that they can also come into your website if they are an administrator and even take you out. So you need to take note of that also, and then make sure you have another layer so that in case if such happens, you can always get access into your website, especially via your host. Okay, so with that being said, that's it on how to add user. Now let's go ahead and look at what our website, because the next thing we want to do now is to test our website, because as you can see now, our website is as good as ready. So our website is currently opened up in a new browser. You can see it's not I'm not logged in, okay, as a user now. So what we want to do now is to walk through the process of creating an account. Okay, so this is our website now, the one we just created, okay, that I've just walked you through. You can see the menu and all other view. Okay, so don't forget I said you should always remember to change this, update this link, right? So this is just for demo purpose as I added it. So we have my account here, my account here. So you can take this off from the menu section depending on how you want to design your header. Okay, so it's not compulsory you use this. That was why I took out time to explain how to create the header. All right, so to create an account, so once I come over to my account, so you can see now there's an option to log in. So that means if I'm already logged in, I'll just put in my username or email and my password, or I can just go ahead and register. So what I want to do now is to register, and I'll just put in my email address and click on register. So let me do that. I've put in my email, so I just click on register. So you can see your account with Prosper Gadgets is using a temporary password. We'll email you a link to change your password. All right, so I'll go to my email now and get a link to update my password. So let me do that. So I've gotten the link to reset. So let me just paste it here, and then so that I can just reset my password. So another thing you need to take note of is that now your email might go to spam. All right. So I'm still going to show you how to fix it. If your emails are going to spam, maybe you as the administrator or your customer emails are going to spam, I'm still going to show you how to fix that real quick. So the page has opened up. So then I'll enter my new password and then I'll re-enter the password. So let me quickly do that. So I've gone ahead to put in a password. All right. So there are some measures you need to take note of. You mix up numbers and letters and this. So let me click on save. Right, so you can see your password has been reset successfully. Now I already have an account, and you can see I have, this is a dashboard, my orders, download, address, payments method. I can also click here to log out. So if I click on dashboard, so this is just my dashboard. If I click on orders, so it will show me all the orders, no orders yet. You can see I can just browse on products to take me to the product page. Then my address and my payments method. So if I click on address now, so this is where you can see you have not set up your billing address and my shipping address. So once I set it up, once I make an order, I don't need to be filling all this information again. So for payment method, okay, so here I can easily add a payment method. So you can see it here. Account details. So this is where I'm going to put in remember this is just a fresh account. So I'm not putting my first name, last name, and then if I need to, okay, password, change my password, I can also do that. So because these are the features that you see in a regular e-commerce website, standard e-commerce website. Okay, so now that we've created an account, now let's go ahead and make a purchase. So let me come over to the shop page. So let's say I want to purchase this item. Let me go ahead, add this to cart. Let me also add these two items to cart. Okay, so you can see as I've added them to cart, if you look over here on my cart, I'm having two products, and you can see you can click here to proceed to checkout, or let's just view cart. So let's see how that page looks like. So you can see it here, the product is here, the price, the quantity. So it's showing me the cart total, and now you can see VAT is playing out here. Okay, this is the VAT and then the total. Now you can see the VAT here, 462.25. all right, that's 5% of this total price. If you calculate it, 0.05 times this, so you get this, and that's it, the total here. And that's based on you can see free shipping, shipping to your, based on what we set up now. And I think so if I should change my address now, so if I should click here, and let's say I'm shipping to United States, so you can see, so that's what the settings we set up earlier, that we are only shipping to 2 locations. That's the United States and Nigeria, and that is what you can see here. So you can't ship to any other location apart from these 2. So if I should select United States, for instance, now, and then I can go ahead and just put in some random information and then update. Okay, so that is it on it. So let me close this. So you can see now there's a flat rate of $10. Okay, so you can see that I'm not getting free shipping. Remember when we set up our shipping, we said any purchase shipping to Nigeria will get a free shipping, but to US it's going to be $5 per item. Now we have 2 items here. Okay, so that's why we are having $10. That's 5 times 2, $10. I hope everything is making sense now. Okay, so let's go ahead and proceed to checkout. So if I click on proceed to checkout, so now we need to also put in our billing details. So let me put in some random information right here. All right, so I've put in those information. Now this is where we are going to enter our coupon code. Okay, so and then you can go ahead and place the order. Now there's an option to put in your card details, but remember I didn't link my Stripe. Okay, so that's why I can't really do that. But once you link in your Stripe account, you'll be able to put in your card details. So you can see the option for credit card has already showed up. So let me show you how the coupon works. So if I click here, remember the coupon we created earlier. So I've gotten the code. So the code we created earlier was Black Friday deal. Okay, I remember it was 100% off coupon code. So if you look at our total now, our total is currently to 9,707. Our total is 9,707.25 USD. Okay, so let me click on apply coupon. Let's see. So you can see it here. It says coupon applied successfully. It showed up here, but it has disappeared real quick. So the coupon has been applied, and now you can see it here. Coupon Black Friday deal. You can see it here. So free shipping, and then our total is 0. All right. So if I should click on place order now, Okay, so I've been able to place the order, so I just use the coupon code so that we can just go through. All right, so this is the receipt, and now you are supposed to receive an email as the buyer, and also as a store owner, you're also supposed to receive an email. So let me go ahead and confirm that. All right, so I've got ahead to check my email. I didn't receive any email because I'm supposed to receive an email into this email address as the customer, okay, as the buyer. Also as the admin, I'm also supposed to receive an email, but I didn't receive any of those emails. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. Okay, so you come back to your dashboard. But first thing, you have to make sure that under this WooCommerce, remember when we checked settings and then we checked emails. So make sure that all the emails are enabled. Okay, so when you come over to emails, and then ensure that you can see new order processing and everything. Make sure that all the options are checked. Okay, so once you confirm that everything are checked and activated and you are still not receiving email, so what you do is you come to your hosting account. Okay, remember the hosting I recommended earlier. So come to your hosting account. On the emails, okay, so just click on claim free emails. So this also, what I'm showing you now is how to create a custom email address. That means maybe info at your domain name.com, that could be your site name, or maybe orders at, okay, so this is another way to another video. So this video is also walking you through how to create a custom email, because that's what we are going to use to fix our email that is going to spam or that's not even going at all. So here you select your domain. All right, so I've selected my domain now. I'll click on confirm. So now we are going to be making use of the free plan, so go ahead and click on get started. So on this page now, I'm going to select the initial that I want to have before my domain name. So I want to have info at garagegpt.com. All right. So I've put in, the next thing is to put in your password. You put in your recovery email. Okay. So let me quickly fill in those information. So I've put in a password. I've also put in a recovery email. So your recovery email could be a free email like your Gmail or your Yahoo Mail or any other email. So that in case you forget your password, you can always use this to recover it. So go ahead and click on create a new account. So once that is done now, so this is the link you are going to be using to access your webmail anytime you want to log in. So that's hostinger.titan.email/mail. Okay, so take note of that. So once I click on it, so you can see the email is here. I'll click on next. So it's asking me for the password. So I logged in. So confirm your recovery email. Make sure your recovery email is what is here. So click on confirm. All right, so with this now, we've been able to create a custom email. So all of these things will show up. Just click on get started. So here you put in your profile name, you put in your profile picture. So your profile picture could be your logo, your business logo, and then this, you're just putting the name of your e-commerce store. So this is the name that will show up once you send an email from your custom email. You put in your logo. So you click on next. Then your business signature is what will show at the footer. So you can go ahead and do this, but I'll leave it for now. All right. So basically, that's how you're going to connect it with the app. You can also do that. So basically, this is how you create a custom email. All right. So make sure you go through all of these settings. But what we need now is you come over to this gear icon, you select it, you scroll down to third-party apps. So guys, if you are finding value, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are still here too. Please subscribe. All right. I'm yet to hit 100 subscribers at the time of creating this video. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button. So be among my first 100 subscribers. All right, so these are the information that we actually need. Okay, so this information is here that we actually need to fix our email that is going to spam. So now that we are on this page, you can go back to our dashboard, come over to plugins, click on add plugin. So the plugin we want to search for is called WP Mail SMPT by WP Forms. So this is what you are going to search. So you might need to put in all this word here, because if you just put in WP Mail, you might not see it, and this is it right here. So take note of this logo, WP Mail SMPT by WP Forms. So just put in this word in the search bar and this will show up. So go ahead and click on install. So once that is installed, go ahead and click on activate. All right, so now let's go ahead and set it up. So I'll click on let's get started. So on this, it will show you that you should choose your SMPT mailer. So just scroll down and click on order SMPT. Then you click on continue. So you scroll down. So where we have this SMPT host, all right, so you now come to your mail. Remember this page. So you copy this smpt.titan email. So you copy it. You come and paste it as your here in your host. So for inscription, you see for most TLS server is recommended option, so you leave it on TLS, And if you look here also, it also supports SSL and TLS. All right, so you can leave it on TLS. So SMPT port, you come over here, the SMPT port is 465, as you can see here. So whatever value you see here is what you're going to copy and replace it right here. Okay, so 465. Now for the authentication, it's currently set to enabled. Now for this SMPT username and SMPT password, so what you are going to put here is your email and your password. So that means your custom email, this info@gpt that we created earlier, okay, is what you are going to put right here. You put it as your username, then your password to your custom email is what you're going to enter here. So once you have put in your email and your password, okay, your from name, you can put it your store name, all right. Then from email address, you can also put in your custom email, all right. So let me just use my custom email, all right. So then you go ahead and save and continue. So once you have done all of these are some pro feature that you don't need. Just click on save and continue. This also, you can just keep this step, all right. We don't need a pro license, just keep this step, right? So checking mailer configuration. So they are currently running this test. So, but if you follow this step, I believe everything will work out well. So if you do all these settings correctly, and then you'll be having a website that is working perfectly well. So your emails will be going to your inbox instead of going to spam. And email that are not delivering before will start delivering to your email address, either as a buyer or as the administrator. Okay. So I'm currently at the dashboard, that's the back end of the website. So I want to show you something real quick. So if you come over to analytics now, if you open the overview, maybe the product, the revenue, the orders, and let me show you what it looks like now. All right, so this is the overview page. I've gone ahead to also do some other test purchase using the coupon code. So this is what it's going to look like. You see that the analytics will start to make sense. Okay, here you can see items that was being purchased, the top products. You're going to see it there, based on how many was purchased or was sold rather. Okay, now the reason why this one is showing total sales at $0 net sales is because I was using coupon code. Okay, so remember the coupon is 100% discount, so that's why it's showing the total sales at 0. But you can see products sold 14, orders 11, and the likes. Okay, so if you also come to products, you're also going to see some information about the products that are being sold. All right, the net sales, the items sold. So if it's products, if you put in your SKU, the SKU will appear here. If it was a product with variation, it will indicate all of this information here. So this will help you in your decision-making process. All right, in terms of revenue, you're going to be seeing all of these: gross sales, return, coupon. So you can see it's all the items I actually purchased was actually with coupon. So the total sales, shipping, and everything. Okay, and how much you charge on tax, or was paid in tax, you're going to see everything here. So guys, with that, we have round up with this video. I hope you find a lot of value in it. If you do, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are yet to. If you have any question for me, please leave them in the comment section below. And also don't forget to check out Hostinja for your domain and your hosting. I'll leave a link to it in the description of this video so that you can take advantage of this offer. You'll also be getting 75% discount when you purchase an hosting plan with them. All the links to that, you'll find them in the description of this video. So I'll also leave a timestamp so that if there's any point of in this video where you want to just jumpstart it and go back and check one or two things, it makes it much more easier. So I'll leave that in the description of this video. So guys, once again, thank you very much for watching. My name is Prosper. With that, I'll see you all in another video. Bye for now.